Best Ball Week continues today. I'm excited to be a DraftKings partner this week. You're going to have a lot of DraftKings best ball content on this channel today, including today. I'm joined by a couple of Johns. John Surabian joining me momentarily from Run Pure Sports. In an hour, John Daigle from Establish the Run will join us as well. It's going to be a really fun show. We're going to talk about, for example, what are we doing with Quinshot Judkins? What are we doing with Dylan Sampson? Are we moving Jawan Jennings down our boards with the potential holdout? We moving Ricky Pearsall up our boards? What are we doing with Demarion Hampton? What are we doing with Najee Harris? A lot of question marks right now in the best ball street. So looking forward to talking about this stuff with these guys. Before we get into it, though, I am going to run the advertisement for DraftKings Best Ball Week. Draft one, get one. Check that out. I'll be back in a minute with John Surabian. Football season is right around the corner, and there's no better way to lock in your fantasy dominance early than with Best Ball on DraftKings, where you draft once and ride your roster all season long. And right now, DraftKings is giving all customers a can't-miss offer. Draft one, get one. Enter a lineup in the $15 million Best Ball contest for just $20, and you'll score another Best Ball ticket to play free for a share of $15 million, giving you a second shot to win big. It's easy. Just draft your team once, no weekly management required, and let your top scorers automatically start each week. Across the whole season, every breakout star, every clutch play, every touchdown will count toward your quest for a share of $15 million. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app now to draft your $20 Best Ball lineup and get a second ticket to play free for a share of $15 million. That's two chances to win big without ever setting your lineup again. Draft one, get one. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. John Surabian, we have teased this on this channel many times. I said I'm going to invite John onto the channel, and many times I did not do so. So we talked about it. It was sort of like the Matt Damon thing on, I think, Jimmy Kimmel. There was some bit on a talk show where they kept on talking about bringing him on, and they never did. I feel like I've been doing that with John for a while now. Things just were not lining up. John, how offended were you to not actually get the invite last year after I kept on saying it? And I mean, are you happy to be here now, or are you just going to yell at me?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm a passionate person, but I'm not going to go at you with this. I appreciate you having me on. I will say, though, I didn't know if it was a thing against Run Pure Sports or if it was just a thing against me. Maybe I'm not like a full-on best ball bro, even though last year I did do something like 700 plus drafts and various sites and everything like that. Majority on DraftKings, hashtag DK partner as well. But maybe I just wasn't a part of the best ball crew. I'm trying to get pushed into the best ball crew. So hopefully this can catapult me into the best ball crew.
Yeah, no, I believe you are fully part of the best ball crew. No, nothing personal. It was like, to be fair, in my defense, it was like September by the time we started talking about it, and it was just chaotic for me. I was going on lots of vacations, trying to schedule things, and just did not get it in before the season ended. And then this year we started talking about it again, just really recently. So it was like, all right, you've been on my list. I've got a lot of guests on my to-do list. It just finally this week I was like, you know what? This is DraftKings Best Ball Week. Who better to partner with than the guys at Run Pure Sports, who are full-time DraftKings partners? So finally, I mean, Wiley, the same thing. It's all the guys at Run Pure Sports. We've been talking about it. I've been wanting to do it, and now we're finally doing it. So I'm excited to draft with you guys.
Yeah, I'm pumped to get in a draft with you and get some takes going. I was told the last time we did a show, I was on with Wiley, and I was told that I'm very interesting to talk sports with because I have a lot of off the board takes. And I was like, in my defense, while I was like, I think that's why some people enjoy the best ball, is because there's such a wide range of takes, and some people are just going to say you're way off. Some people are going to say I agree with you, but like everybody has different takes when it comes to certain situations, and we all have the similar information. So that's what makes it so interesting, but also fun to talk with other people about. Is like, yeah, it's cool to have like different takes. I think people like that about certain people when they have like, I take harder stands, I think, than most people in the best ball space in general. So that's going to lead to me having some good calls, also some, bad calls when you take, super heavy stands and are fading some situations. That's going to, make you look good in some areas and maybe not in bad. For instance, my highest owned player was Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin last year.
That worked out.
Washington, pretty much. I was highest on Washington overall. I was telling people not to draft Caleb Williams over Jaden Daniels, which was a big thing. Because if you remember, they were really close for a long time in ADP. But also I was lowest on Saquon Barkley in the second round. So, you look at things like that. It's like, okay, I was right in one area, I was wrong in another area. But I think people like when you take stands when you talk on this, because it gives more controversy when you go with people that have different takes.
Oh, 100% agree with you. I think people absolutely love when you go contrarian, and like people, associate different content creators with your player picks. Your favorite players are kind of your brand, or your fades are your brand. What I struggle with is, so I love that myself. I love bringing people on and like hearing their hot takes. And I Debra on yesterday talking about one RJ Harvey is like his number 34 overall player, something like that. I love talking with people like that. But then the problem for me is I bring on a lot of really sharp guests. Like that's part of what I'm trying to do with these shows, is I try to bring on the sharpest people I can, and then they all have contradicting opinions. I'm like, I don't know what to do with this.
That's why I was like 54th in line in your line of guests.
You're too controversial.
Like I'm definitely a little controversial, but that's what someone said. Dyami Brown in the chat. Wes knows. What my guy Wes knows. That was another guy. I'm just I guess I like. I have different. I don't know why people. I've seen arguments for people who don't like Dyami Brown as like the 200th pick in a best ball draft, and I just don't even understand the reasoning. They just don't like the player, I guess, is their reasoning behind it. Like they just think he's not good from a talent perspective. But my argument is we play DFS every single week, and from week to week, we pick players all the time from a talent perspective might not be that great, but are in a situation where they can thrive, maybe because, the starting running backs hurt. So someone like Rachaad White, who I don't think is a good runner. I don't think he's a very good runner, but he can catch out of the backfield. And when he gets all the workload,
it's useful. Yeah.
Fantasy player. So like, I think people look at it from certain lenses and will just lean into a take, but it's like, we look at it from a DFS perspective all the time. I don't know why. I mean, I played Joe Flacco on some slates last year. Joe Flacco's like 50 years old. You know what I mean? But it was a situation and a price tag to where I couldn't not take some. And I don't know how people are against Dyami Brown at pick 200. Just other things like that. But that's just certain takes,
Love that. I mixed in Dyami Brown some. He's one of several players I like late. We do have a sort of surprise early guest here joining us. So I'm excited to bring on a third person for this, but I can't do it in this layout. So I'm gonna bring up the new layout. Hang on, and then I'm gonna bring him on. Give me 1 second here. It's gonna be beautiful once I get this all squared up. We're gonna bring on a third guest.
I trust in you, Neil. I trust in you. You seem like someone who needs everything to look visually good too. So I trust. It
bothers me when things don't. And now let's bring him in. John Daigle. I was not expecting you for another hour, John Daigle.
So I messaged you on Twitter because I thought once I had saw that y'all had started that I got Eastern time mixed up. So here I am, and I can stick around. That's whatever.
Oh, I'm glad. No, yeah, I thought you weren't.
I did not realize I was even early though. I was like, wait, I'm late because we just got done recording, which is why I scheduled for 3 p.m. But it turns out it was 4 p.m. Eastern. So here we are anyways. You're welcome.
No, we faked you out just because I wanted you to come on early. That was the whole plan. Neil did a good job.
Well, I also gave you flannel last time, Neil. So you get Hawaiian shirt today.
Love it. I mean, we got to mix it up. I'm letting people down with no flannel recently for me. I'm liking John's shirt too. Barbells and bourbon.
You guys didn't give me the memo though. I would have came with a nicer shirt if you guys gave me the memo on the nice shirts here.
You can't see how unironed this shirt is. Like it's just like totally just wrinkled everywhere. You can't really tell in the video, thankfully. No, it's you look great. Should we should we get into a draft and get into start making some picks?
Let's go ahead and do it since we're here already. I did not mean to cut like the conversation time short either. Like if JSU, if you stick around afterwards, then yes, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Then we can reminisce about the time that, first of all, people are saying it didn't happen, that we won against Big T after Big T telling us that his team was minus 1,500 or whatever to
Wow.
win the RG tournament. So people don't even believe that, John. People don't believe that we're hoopers.
I told Neil last week or a couple weeks ago that Noto was our center. We had a really strong team, and it's the same thing I told Dan Bach, because when he was forming teams, he said, "What is your strength?" And I said, "I cannot shoot, but I am Mark Madsen. I will not get tired, and I will pass and rebound for everything I'm worth." And that's exactly what the team was, or I was just getting hustle points and outrunning Big T. But again, he did swat the shit out a couple of my shots a couple times where,
he is 6'6".
He's
a big
massive.
man. Yeah.
I can shoot threes. He's massive.
He's gonna block you some. He's gonna block you some. I'm impressed. So what were the teams? Tell me about who were the players on these teams.
This is what happened. It was me, Kevin Roth, Tony, and there was someone else. I can't remember Daigle, but we pretty much picked teams. I don't know if it was Dan Bach. I can't remember who, but we drafted teams. Do you remember this?
I remember sending in my profile, but I don't remember the draft. I do. So didn't you have a stream for it too?
We did. It was.
I wonder if it still exists on YouTube.
I'm not sure, but I can tell you the reason why so I didn't know many people. I had just started at Roto Grinders maybe 6 or 8 months ago. So
we hadn't met before.
People. We never met. And I told people, so I took Noto and I think Cam. You remember Cam, right? Cam was one of our guys. So I took them 2 first. And then I said, you know what? And this is how I took John. I said, you know what? I'm just going to go with my faith, and something's telling me that I need to take this guy, John Daigle. He's got a great first name. So that's how I picked John Daigle, was because of his first name. I didn't know who he was, and I just picked the right guys, and John Daigle was one of our heroes.
And the rest is history. I mean, that's impressive, beating Big T.
I know I have
in high school.
I know I have a photo.
Played in college.
Wow. Playing college, and I don't know if people are aware, holds state records as well.
Yeah.
No way.
Amazing. Yes.
We are about to be on the clock, by the way, with the number 3 pick. What do you guys like to do with the 3 pick here? So Saquon and Chase are off the board. Jefferson's there. Bijan, Gibbs. What do we think?
I would go Bijan here. Bijan or Lamb.
Okay, and I am normally Bijan or Justin Jefferson, so I'm cool with Bijan.
All right, we got consensus on Bijan. I'm usually Justin Jefferson there, but I am trying to mix it up a little bit more.
By the way, there's probably a better way to do this, but there you go.
Yeah, there it is.
Look at that.
Jamino on the side. There's Noto. Cam in the middle, but that's the winning team right there.
Look at those guys.
The championship team. Still have
Hoopers.
Who was on Big Team? I think you were saying it, but my internet was kind of crapping out, so I had to reset it mid conversation. Who else? It
was Overzet, Chris Kirkwood. Who am I missing here, Daigle? I'm missing a few people. I remember those.
Did Andy play?
I can't remember about it. I can't remember that.
Because Andy obviously has the experience and played at Duke, literally played.
He did, but he was on the other team, I think. He was on the third team.
Because he guarded Big T during that time, and Kitchens was also an amazing point guard in high school and maybe even college. I can't recall. The thing though about Big T and Kitchens is as we get older, we all get a little more tired. So about the second or third game, their shooting goes down because they're just trying to heave, man. They're just trying to suck it up. We're all trying to get air in that last game.
That was what we had. We had hustle on our team.
Right? We had a lot of hustle.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I came out because we had to. So if you won, you stayed on the floor. So we won the first 2 games in a row. So we had to play 3 games in a row. And I remember the third game, we were up a few points, and I took myself out finally for a second, and 30 seconds after I took myself, because Holden smacked me in the nuts. That's what happened. He literally sack tapped me as I was running by him. He sack tapped me. And So I had to go out. Noto looks at me like 30 seconds later and he goes, dude, get back in this game. We need you in here to dribble the ball up. Because I was like dying for a sec. I was like, just give me 1 second.
Because you were truly our only point guard. Like we had no one else who could ball handle. The rest of us are just out there trying our best in and around the paint. That's it.
Did either of you play like high school basketball?
Oh yeah, I played basketball my whole life. So I played. Yeah.
I played soccer. I was in the 2006 Texas High School All-Star game, and then I played one year in college. And I still play on 3 soccer teams now. That's why I have a hat tan, because I had a doubleheader on Sunday.
Nice. All right, we're about to be on the clock again. We have Bijan Robinson on the team. AJ Brown goes. Trey McBride is here. Rashee Rice, Tyreek Hill available. T. Higgins. Anybody you guys like?
On DK, I'm typically pounding wide receivers here. So I would say Rashee Rice, T. Higgins are probably my preferred options.
Yeah, like Garrett Wilson's my favorite, but I think he's gone. Is he gone?
I don't think he's gone.
I'm fine with Rashee Rice, though.
Let's go.
And definitely don't mind Garrett Wilson. Do we think he's going to come back too? Probably.
Probably. Yeah, we'll probably get him next round.
Come back. That's fine.
I think I've seen Trey McBride start to slip. I don't know if you guys have been noticing that, but like I got Trey McBride yesterday in a draft at pick 35, literally almost the end of the third. And
so it's interesting.
I don't understand the slip. I don't get it.
The one exception has been my stream drafts where he goes in like the top 20 every time. So it's when I'm on streams, I have not seen him fall at all. Outside of streams, I've gotten him in the 30s as well. Oh, Garrett Wilson does go.
Yeah, but I am the Sky or whatever is in the chat. He said Garrett Wilson's not coming back.
Okay.
we now know that the 101 is at least in the chat, or the 102. Yeah.
He's definitely my favorite 3rd round pick. I think everyone's whiffing on Garrett Wilson.
What do we think of Trey McBride, Devontae Adams, JSN? Anybody you like here?
I'm McBride or Adams. Those are my two favorite after Garrett Wilson.
Same for me. So whichever you want to prioritize, tight end or wide receiver, totally fine with that.
All right, let's go with McBride here.
We didn't get to talk about this last time, a couple weeks ago when we drafted an underdog, Neil, but DraftKings is more fun just because everyone still goes heavy running back, even though we can make up those points later. Like wide receiver on a full PPR site, especially with 100-yard bonuses, that's where we want to go heavily.
Yeah. How do you feel about the? Sorry, I don't know if you just said this and I misinterpreted. How do you feel about the elites like Brock Bowers, Trey McBride? Maybe we did talk about that, but because they have such high like reception potential, I kind of like them. But do you disagree with that? You want to attack wide receivers over the elite tight ends?
The Brock Bowers conversation is really hard because at cost with these tier of wide receivers, look at them: Brian Thomas, Drake London, Ladd McConkey. Like Bowers has to separate significantly from McBride, who goes a round later, or George Kittle, who sometimes goes 2 rounds later. And so, as great as Bowers is, can he separate that much at a onesie position? Like I kind of question it, honestly. So I think I'd much rather be on the, unfortunately, underweight Bowers wagon and instead lean on McBride and Kittle.
I agree. I question it. I question it too. And I'm also lower on Brock Bowers, but I will say in his defense, the more I think about it, he gets a massive upgrade at quarterback from what he had last year. On top of it, I think he gets a massive upgrade from an offensive system this year with the coaching staff. So I think a lot of things potentially could work in his favor. I don't think the team is going to be amazing in that division. They're probably going to be trailing a lot. So I think he's going to be set up to maybe make us eat our words when it comes to Brock Bowers in the second. But I agree with you. Like if I can get Trey McBride a round later, I would just rather Trey McBride, who I think gives me similar upside, and we have to believe he's going to score more than 2 touchdowns this year. Like I refuse to believe that number is not going to go up. And I think the volume's going to stay similar. Maybe it's a little lower, but it's going to be around what he got last year, as long as, Kyler's healthy and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I'm lower on Brock Bowers, but I've also seen him start to slip like a little later, which is interesting.
So I think I'm standing firm on my Brock Bowers has always been one of my targets on DraftKings, and every single guest that comes on here is anti Brock Bowers. It feels like, but I'm standing firm on it. I like Brock Bowers quite a bit. I do agree with you though. I think that you make a good point about how Trey McBride is just like he's in a different range where it feels a lot safer, and I don't think he's that much worse of a bet than Brock Bowers is. So I will concede that I want one of them a lot of the time. We are back on the clock with pick 46. Ted McMillan is here. Devonta Smith, Jalen Hurts. Anybody you particularly like here?
Go ahead, JSU.
I would say I'm not big into Tet. I like Kenny Walker. I like George Pickens.
I would say Pickens are worthy if we're trying to round out like a Chief stack here.
Yeah.
All right. We're going George Pickens with the first one. I'll start up worthy here.
What's your Carolina take on Tet? I want a Tet take here because I'm very low on Tet just with like all the other receivers going 10 rounds later, literally, or 8 rounds later. But like, what's the take here? Because I just feel like it's way too high.
I find myself rounding out Carolina without Ted often just because of the ADP it takes to get Ted. When you can wait on Xavier Leggett, Adam Thielen is perennially underrated. I understand it's probably going to be his last season, but the fact he's constantly a wide receiver 2 or 3 in points per game whenever he's out there, including last year when he returned for those last 7 games with Bryce Young, it still makes me high on him on this platform. So I have not been taking Ted a lot, but it's only because I'm backdoor stacking Bryce Young with Jatavian Sanders and Thielen more often.
All right, we have Bijan Robinson, Rashee Rice, George Pickens, Trey McBride, both Xavier Worthy and Kenneth Walker still here. Any preferences?
Let's go Worthy. Let's get this little Chief stack going on.
We got the double stack there. So I'm trying to stick to my guns more because I feel like I just concede all the time. And then I started fighting Debro a little bit yesterday toward the end of our stream, and I was like, this is fun. I enjoy just like disagreeing sometimes. I'm big on Tet. I think Tet could just be like that is a wide open wide receiver core. Xavier Leggett was bad last year. You look at yards per run, Xavier Leggett was legitimately bad. Adam Thielen is aging. Jalen Coker was pretty good, but maybe not even going to play. Whereas Tet was a first-round wide receiver coming into, I think, a wide open room there in Carolina. I think Tet could just get 150 targets this year and just be amazing. So I'm pro Leggett specifically on DraftKings where it is full PPR, where even if they're not scoring a lot, I think you can just get there in PPR sense, just have a ton of receptions this year. So I'm higher on Leggett than you guys are. I think he's better on DraftKings than half PPR sites. He also goes later with that Q tag.
So you believe in Bryce Young in the offense, like as a
kinda,
whole?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I need to necessarily.
That high, I think you should. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're drafting him that high, I think you should believe at least somewhat. Which I do like Canales. I am a fan of Canales. I think he's a really good coach. He did wonders with Baker Mayfield. He did a better job later in the year with Bryce Young. So I kind of believe in the offense. I'm not sure that I need to like fully believe in the offense. So like I don't need them to be a top 15 offense even. I don't think it needs to be like in the top 16 in the top half of the league, because I think he can just get there on PPR volume. Like he can just be like the guy who is targeted, just like similar to Malik Neighbors last year, where like the Giants weren't any good. And I think people are assessing him with Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas, and it's like, see, they worked. Like this can work, and it's like I don't know if the situations are the exact same. Like Brian Thomas was literally competing against nobody, like literally nobody on that team. And Malik Neighbors is a complete outlier because he should have been going where Marvin Harrison was going. The Marvin Harrison first round thing was crazy when you look back on it. Malik Neighbors was just the better overall pick, and you got him 2 rounds later. But like, I think he's an outlier because I think he's already like a top 5 talented like receiver in the league. Malik Neighbors. So.
You see, that might be true. It kind of appeared that way last year. Some bull cases for Tet in the chat. Kriya says Tet bull cases is wide receiver 1 on an ascending offense with a garbage defense. All the wide receivers going around Tet are wide receiver 2s. That's true. Andrew says it's bet on his talent. He was a great prospect who got great capital, 0 competition for targets. It's a parlay that's insanely correlated if he's good. Rocket ship. Daigle, do you do a lot of prospect work?
I do. That's what I was looking up my past comps. Because Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors were better prospects than Tet McMillan. Not to say that Tet was a bad one. He's definitely a good one. But like, dude, Brian Thomas profiled as Jamar Chase, like literally coming out, just like a freak athlete with the size as well. Malik Neighbors too. So there were a lot of people who also had Neighbors ranked significantly over Marvin Harrison. And I know in hindsight, that's easy to say, but it was not the common opinion at the time before they took the football field. So Tet's downgrade from those two, but he's still a very good prospect.
But
All right,
let's be honest,
on the clock at pick 70.
Oh yeah.
Do we like Jordan Addison, Jerry Jeudy, Juwan Jennings, Chris Godwin, Pat Mahomes? Finish the stack.
How early is it for Pat Mahomes? Is it okay?
It's right at
Let's
right at ADP.
Let's do it.
We could just do it now. Yeah, because I don't see a big difference in that range, honestly.
I don't really either. Yeah.
I've been getting I was just gonna say like the Brian Thomas Malik Neighbors thing, just to finish that off. Like those guys were getting so many easy targets, those just short yardage, just catch and then after the catch. Whereas like Marvin Harrison was getting more of just like, he was never getting those like easy targets. Like Trey McBride just handled over the middle of the field. Like he handled a lot of those type of targets that like Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas just constantly got. And that's why that's why I think their numbers were so much more different from a volume perspective. Like Marvin Harrison was dealing with a lot of like, just like tough one-on-one, like hand fighting and jump balls and stuff like that. Whereas Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas were getting more of that, but also those short yardage stuff that Trey McBride was getting. So I think
who's our favorite San Francisco receiver? Juwan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall.
And that was my take before the whole thing happened. So I'm sticking to it. That's one of my takes.
I like both, but most likely Pearsall will come up this direction. So sure. Yeah.
Okay. We didn't have to do San Francisco. I just wanted to get that conversation in briefly, and I thought it was a good spot to talk about the San Francisco receivers.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Just wanted conversation. Just I think everyone now is Pearsall, right? Like the flip is happening.
I think the flip is happening. Yeah, I think
just because the holdout news. Yeah, but with Deebo Samuel off the field last year, Juwan Jennings had a 41% target share. Like he wasn't a blip on the radar. He was the truth.
I've been Jennings over Pearsall all off season. Now I'm conceding that Pearsall maybe does surpass him, and maybe I've been underrating the Pearsall being shot. You know, like kind of might have affected his play a little bit more than I'm giving it credit for.
Sounds like the answer is Brock Purdy.
The answer could be Brock Purdy,
especially when we discuss George Kittle. Like the answer is always all roads lead to Brock Purdy.
Yeah,
seems like they have an easy schedule too. It does seem like a good team to attack from a best ball standpoint. And you know, I do have some of both, but Ricky Pearsall is one of my highest drafted players overall. So like it's just a stand that I've had. I just want to get over on him. I think with being shot, obviously, and then coming and playing 10 or 11 games in the season, like to me, that's crazy when you hear what happened to him right before the season. And then he goes out there and he plays that much after the fact. And honestly, yeah, Jennings was the better guy. Like if you look at the full season, Jennings, I agree with Daigle. He was much better. But I think year two, Pearsall, no Debo. I think Ayuk might just be close to done. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens with Jennings. I think if they give Jennings a contract, that tells you a lot about how they feel about Brandon Ayuk. And if they trade him or let him hold out, then I think they feel more comfortable with Brandon Ayuk, coming back from the injury. But I think it's Pearsall that has the reception upside and also can make big plays like Juwan Jennings did consistently. I think he has that ability as well. So, they're close. I'm just making a player take going Pearsall over him, but I get it. It's not like a super strong take. Like Jennings was really good last year. So,
Daigle, where were you at before the Jennings potential holdout? Where were you? Did you have a preference between the two?
Jennings over Pearsall. But again, it's not that, just like the Tet conversation, it's not to be negative against Pearsall at all. Like I think he's going to do great. We saw those last two games without either Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk, that he had 6 catches for 69 yards and a touchdown, then went over 100 with another touchdown. He scorched the earth. So I think all against the league's easiest schedule can do quite well. McCaffrey included, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, and I've been sort of out on McCaffrey, but trying to make sure I'm not like, I have some because he could just absolutely kill everybody.
Yeah.
Surabian, we haven't talked about this previously. So who are just some of your highest exposed players
on draft? Go ahead.
Yeah, DraftKings specifically.
On DraftKings specifically. Yeah.
So at quarterback, Caleb Williams is one of my highest drafted.
After fading him last year, now you're in this year. Okay.
Yeah, it's the whole. Again, I'm not fading always players because I just think they're bad or the ADP. It's got a lot to do with like coaching staff. I knew Matt Eberflus was a terrible coach. I didn't like Shane Waldron. I watched Justin Fields his whole career, and I was like, that dude.
We're on the clock again.
In spite of the coaching staff, we're back on the clock.
Jordan Mason, Brandon Ayuk, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Warren.
Jordan Higgins. Gosh, I would say Jalen Warren among this tier of wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't mind him on DK.
Yeah, I'm higher. I think I'm higher on Jaden Higgins than most, but we do need a second running back.
He's my favorite rookie receiver overall. Jaden Higgins. Yeah, he's my favorite.
I like him.
I mean, I think Luka could have the best season depending on what happens with the like how that thing shakes out with all those receivers. But from just like a personal like player standpoint, I really like Jaden Higgins and where he fell.
And they paid him guaranteed money, second round pick. Like everything looks really good for Jaden Higgins. So yeah, I'm drafting a ton.
CJ Stroud, also another winner there when you ask about players we are exposed highly to, just because if you're playing the stock market, QB5 and ADP last year, now people are kind of leaving him in the QB2 range, which doesn't make any sense at all. Especially with an offensive line change, an offensive line or offensive coordinator change, an offensive line upgrade, surrounding cast change as well. We're adding 2 explosive rookies and Christian Kirk, who's a very good slot receiver too.
I'm not going to put the board back on yet.
I don't think he's competing with anyone. It's like Nico and him on the outside, Christian Kirk on the inside.
Exactly. We could do Purdy here and have 2 quarterbacks early. We could do Jordan Mason, who I love quite a bit. Brandon Ayuk, I'm not super. We are on the clock now.
I don't mind getting Purdy if you want to just pair him. If you want to get that second quarterback out of the way, I do Purdy's like cool. Jordan Mason as well. If you want a running back, but
let's close out our quarterbacks, and then we can add a third later if we want to.
Okay.
Yep. Good with that.
You asked though highest exposed guys. Yeah. I just pulled it up on DraftKings. Devontae Adams, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, De'Ami Brown, Jalen Wright, Garrett Wilson, Ricky Pearsall, Chigo Okonkwo. Those are like some of my highest guys that I got right now. But
Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, and Calvin Ridley are 3 of those guys that go in the like 3rd, 4th tier of wide receivers, but are all 150 target players. They're only discounted because we are questioning the accuracy of those targets. But the fact you can just get that kind of volume in that tier, again, on a site like DraftKings where we're hoping for catches, they're all 3 such great values.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
FQ says, I know it wasn't meant to be funny, but I may have underestimated how much getting shot impacted. It was very funny to me. Yeah. It was.
I'm just, what are you gonna do, man? Take lead to the chest and then you come back. Like that's impressive. That's all I'll say.
It is. It's very impressive. I've never been shot, so I'll be upfront about that. I've never been shot. I don't know how it's going to impact your ability to play football.
Okay, it sounds impressive because I've never been shot either. So let's just say it sounds.
We're making the assumption that it's impressive. It does seem pretty impressive to me.
Does not seem like a fun thing to go through.
Another thing that I've never experienced is fireworks to my eye. What are we thinking about the Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton situation? Are you guys moving your boards at all? Are you moving Omarion Hampton up your boards? Do you think Omarion Hampton is a good pick where he's going regardless? Are you moving Najee down? What do you think of that situation?
So I just did a podcast with JJ Zachariason this morning, actually, and he had mentioned, and this is from his late round guide too at lateround.com, but he had mentioned, because I was talking about that, we're all waiting for the actual Najee Harris news since we only have 1 sentence from his very biased agent. That's it. So I'm not believing anything just yet. But when you talk about pushing Hampton up into the Chase Brown, Breece Hall tier, in his opinion, it probably is too much, considering if you look at the last decade of Greg Roman offenses, they've been outside the top 25 in running back target rate. Like, they literally just don't use their running backs despite the running volume. And that's how you separate, clearly, is running backs with target shares. So you want to be careful, even though it is like the perfect fit, honestly, for Hampton under Harbaugh and Roman. So having said that, I still love Hampton, but I get how his ceiling can be capped now based on that argument.
Yeah, that's the exact argument that D-Bro made to me yesterday. I was arguing pro Omarion Hampton, moving him up to I'm just moving up to the 3-4 turn. Like, I think that he's totally reasonable to take there. Because even without if he's not that involved in the passing game, he could still be like, he's going to get some involvement in the passing game, I would assume, even under Greg Roman, and then just the rushing workload could be awesome against a great O-line, all of that. So I'm pretty pro Omarion Hampton, but yeah, I get that concern. So where are you like putting him? Because I remember in Daigle, you and I took him in a draft last week.
Yep.
But I don't remember exactly where we
took
took him.
Was it third round?
I think it was like right at that 3-4 turn.
Honestly, I think I'm still there as long as I have him ahead of Ken Walker, that next group of guys.
Yeah.
Where are those guys at? Yeah. So it's like Josh Jacobs, Ken Walker around there. Rashid Shaheed, by the way, I really like here.
I think he's the clear only guy I would even think about on New Orleans.
Not even Chris Olave.
I mean, I just think Shaheed is, honestly, I think he's better for this format, and he doesn't have those, I mean, just the concussion risk alone. I can't do Chris Olave where he's going. But yeah, I think Shaheed gives you the big upside, and I think he could give you consistent weeks as well. I think people view him mainly as a guy who just, blows the doors off the defense, catches the 60-yard bomb, but he can give you consistent weeks, I think, week in and week out, with this team probably being bad, trailing a lot, having to throw the ball a ton. The volume's probably going to be high. And he doesn't give me the concussion scares. Well, I mean, they all have, I guess, risk of concussions, but Chris Olave might be one concussion away from being done. We don't know. So
we're at 2-2-5-1. So I'm wondering if we need a running back here. Unless you guys see somebody else that you really love.
I mean, I still like Zach Charbonnet a lot, but I don't mind waiting either if there's another wide receiver or tight end you were thinking about here. Even on DraftKings, I guess the flex, you can definitely just wait for another tight end.
I'm a big Sharps guy too, so.
All right, we got consensus.
Yeah, I'm good with that then. Sharps, 6 starts for Kenneth Walker last year, had a higher rate of 15-yard runs in his 6 starts than Walker did in his starts. And then also, because there's no competition, right? Like, Walker gets in, there's competition inside the 5-yard line. Charbonnet gets in 100% of their carries inside the 5 during those 6 starts because there's no one else. So it's a new coaching staff. And yes, Walker probably will lead the team in touches, but I think it's ambiguous enough to where maybe Charbonnet works in a little bit more. So we'll have to see.
Oh, look at that dog. Oh, that's a cute puppy.
That's Reggie.
Hey, Reggie.
Yeah, he likes to get in at times.
That's great.
Where would Olave need?
Yeah, where would Olave need to fall for you to take him?
So I'm honest, I think I might take Rashid Shaheed ahead of Chris Olave, but where would he need to fall? Probably like 100, honestly, for me to take him.
Wow, see, because I think Olave, I think the injury history is somewhat baked into his ADP. And it's not someone I'm taking a lot of, but I'm fine taking him.
Yeah, I think it's baked into. I just don't. He's just one of those guys. I'm just taking a stand on. I don't want. Even if he's going to have to fall a good amount for me to click his name, when I think that the guy next to him is close to, maybe not as talented, but has similar skills to have upside, to where I don't feel I need to go him if I want a Saints player. I can just wait 20, 30 picks later and take Shaheed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I have concerns about the quarterback play. The concussions, like you say, it does concern me some, even though I do think that's baked in. I also think the quarterback play is baked in. So we're getting Olave in the 6th round instead of the 2nd round. But I'm still he's not an auto click for me. It's still in that range. I kind of mix everybody.
Who's he in the range with? It's Jordan
Jerry
Addison,
Jeudy, Jordan Addison.
Jennings.
Yep.
Okay, seriously, like tell me you're taking Chris Olave over those guys. Like Jennings, if he has a contract, are you going Jennings or Chris Olave?
See, personally, I don't feel that strongly about it. So this is where you have the hot takes. I'm
okay.
like, man, like so I think more often than not, I will take
See,
Jennings
I trust
if
Brock
he has a
Purdy way
contract.
more
If he
than
has a
Tyler
contract, I
Shuck.
think more often I'll take Jawan Jennings. Now I'm like, yeah, truth serum. Who do I actually believe in the most?
Yeah,
in
there
that
you
group
go.
is tough. I do think that I would have Jawan Jennings over him, which I think is sort of a hot take because I think Chris Olave has been just really good throughout his career. I think probably Jennings is at the top of that. Like,
let's be honest, if
Chris
Olave had like, I don't know, even an okay quarterback like Geno Smith at quarterback, right? Like anyone, honestly, like veteran type, and he didn't have the concussion issues, where would he be going? Probably the third round.
Yeah,
you just go back to his ADP last year, and that was like the third round. Yeah,
second,
third round. Yeah,
and I think that's reasonable because without the concussions, like, and not rookie quarterback, like, you don't have as many concerns. But like the concussions scare the shit out of me, and like one or two, and I know if there's like more than one, there's no way he's not like out for 4 or 5 game stretches. There's just no way.
Oh yeah, he's gonna miss time. All right, we're coming back up. A little bit of a fall for Javonte Williams, who I don't draft a ton of, but now he's coming 21 picks after ADP. Is sort of interesting for our team. Ramondre Stevenson's still there. Stevenson gone now. So we have Javonte, Rashad White, Dallas Goedert, Jake Ferguson. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I'm not a Javonte guy. Are you, Daigle?
No, just because I still believe the margin of discrepancy between him and Miles Sanders is quite large, but it is a dip.
It's a good spot to get him if we don't like him.
I'm fine with Javonte here. I don't have much at all, so I'm totally fine with it here.
All right. I am not pro. Debro also did make, I believe, if I remember correctly, Debro made the pro Javonte case yesterday for where he's going. Just from a, like, he was making the case that like he was better at the start of last season, like through the first 8 weeks of the season, he was very efficient, and then he kind of hit a wall and his efficiency fell off. And he was making the argument that maybe he could just come back fresher and be better this year. I was like, I'm concerned when a player falls off, but
I feel like we've seen that with a few running backs, like J.K. Dobbins last year. I feel like that happened. Joe Mixon, I feel like he hit a wall at a certain point. Like we've seen that with a few. Javonte with the injury history he's had. I don't know.
You can wait out Jaden Blue as well and take that route because at least Jaden Blue is a very good pass catcher. And I don't know if I made this case a couple weeks ago on the show, Neil, but like he doesn't have a resume of touches because he played behind Roschon Johnson, Jonathan Brooks, and Bijan Robinson. Like he played behind 3 NFL players. So that's okay. We don't know his ceiling, so we can just cross our fingers and take that.
Do we like Dallas Goedert as our tight end 2 at pick 147? We've got, we could go with one of the quarterbacks, Dylan Sampson here. We could reach up a little bit. What do we think?
I've seen Dylan Sampson go still 170, 160. So I think we could wait. I don't mind Dallas Goedert at 140. That seems like a nice fall.
That's fine. I think I would have waited a little longer for like a second and third tight end since we have McBride, but doesn't matter to me. Probably just would have been Dubs or Hollywood to triple stack this thing instead.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about Hollywood. That would have been interesting.
What about Royals? Do you like the kid Royals down there as like a late last round pick for a cheap stack, or are you out?
It's hard to envision him, and he was an okay prospect. It's hard to envision him creating room there, but also I don't know what the offense looks like this year because they really did. It's a small sample, but they really did want to scale back Travis Kelce. And just keep him as a different player until Rashee Rice went down. And then they had no choice but to use him as old Travis Kelce. So I very, very much worry about Kelce's usage in that offense until the postseason.
Especially if you think Worthy's still stays where he was at towards the end of the season or close to it with Rice coming back, because Rice being hurt definitely helped Worthy kind of bump up quicker than what I think they were even envisioning him. I don't think they were envisioning doing some of the stuff for him that early in the season. And I think when Rice got hurt, they were like, okay, we kind of have no choice. We got to use Kelce a little more, and we got to get Worthy a little more involved with Rice out. But now that Rice is back, I think you have to assume one of Worthy or Kelce takes a step back from what they did at the end.
I definitely think it's Kelsey because Rice and Worthy run different routes. Like Rice is a power slot receiver who gets the ball underneath. Worthy proved he can be a downfield threat last year, which was kind of surprising, but also coming out from Quinn Ewers, Worthy had the lowest rate of catchable passes 20 yards downfield in the entire class. Like he just never got a chance, even though he had the speed to get open downfield. So it wasn't like crazy shocking that suddenly he can get open and he has Patrick Mahomes throwing him the ball. Good things can happen downfield.
Yeah, and I can't tell you how many Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy bombs were just missed. Just missed.
Yeah.
So many times I felt like Mahomes would give him like 2 chances a game, and they just couldn't figure it out early.
And those were Mahomes' faults. Those weren't Worthy's fault. Like Mahomes,
he would overthrow him.
Yeah, Mahomes had some
which is
ugly.
insane.
Like towards the end of the year, I do the Wednesday night show for Roto Grounders with Rich Rebar, and towards the end of the year, like you would see on social media, people would cite like Mahomes' deep ball rate, but we would even just like cancel that out because it was fake. It's like that deep ball rate, the balls would sail into the stands. It just didn't matter at all because he just was bad last year throwing downfield.
Well, didn't they also have a couple plays where like they connected and then Worthy like just stepped out of bounds before the end zone? Like they just kept on having.
That's a whole nother thing.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother thing. Because I had Worthy a ton. Worthy was one of like my highest drafted players. So
yeah,
I was tilting every single time he was throwing them into the stands, like Daigle was talking about, or stepping out of bounds.
Man. There were a couple times where like he probably would have been more accurate if he punted it downfield. There were some bad Mahomes throws downfield last year. But also, again, Worthy runs 4.2. It's hard to time that. You should just throw it as far as hell as you can.
Such good timing with Tyreek Hill. You just like thought, okay, if this can work, like this is going to fit like a glove. And it just did not early in the season. And then they kind of figured it out at the end.
Will you allow me to take Dylan Sampson here? Because Wes is not going to let him come back to us.
Yes, let's do that. Especially because we need that in our build.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are the running backs looking like first? We got Bijan. Who else do we have?
Yeah, so our team now, we're at Patrick Mahomes, Bijan Robinson, Jalen Warren, Rashee Rice, George Pickens, Xavier Worthy, Trey McBride, Ricky Pearsall, Brock Purdy, Rashid Shaheed, Zach Charbonnet, Javonte Williams, Dallas Goedert, and Dylan Sampson. That's a 2-5-5-2 build so far.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
The good thing about DraftKings in the 20 rounds, I still think there's like running backs late that hold value.
Yeah. Underdog, everyone has rookie fever. DraftKings, they slide.
Yeah. Slide big time. I don't know when we get down there, we'll see who you like, because I got like a couple guys that I'm like very high on down there that just like I could envision roles like them carving out a role for themselves, or obviously if there's an injury and they could fully step into like, because they have either just a vet who I think is washed or two that in front of them where it's like I don't fear, like Taj Brooks. Like I think Taj Brooks is a steal where he's going, because I don't feel Samaje Perine or Zach Moss at all. They're not good.
Josh Palmer, Pat Bryant, Demario Douglas, Jalen Knoll. Anybody we like here?
I like Pat Bryant. He sometimes falls a little later. I'm fine with Josh Palmer as well. Those would be the two.
Daigle?
Don't have a preference here.
All right, we got Josh Palmer just from a lack of movement.
I usually like backdoor that whenever I have the Eagles, because you can nuke the Eagles offense without Saquon Barkley on DraftKings. It's much harder to do so on Underdog. But then you can come back later on because Dalton Kincaid, Josh Palmer, Elijah Moore even, they all go so much later for the Week 17 stack, I should say.
Let's talk about this. Rabona King. So I put, by the way, there is a poll in YouTube chat for anybody who is interested in this conversation, what we're doing with Quinshon Judkins. So my question is, if Quinshon Judkins does get suspended for the first 6 games of the season, where would you want to take Dylan Sampson? Would it be a top 100 player for you, top 140 player for you, or outside of the top 140 is the poll currently in YouTube chat. I don't know if this is the likeliest scenario. I think there's a strong possibility that Quinshon Judkins just does not see any type of suspension this year, but some pretty damning evidence against him. The victim took pictures, which that's, as far as the NFL punishing him, if those get out, I think it's more likely that he gets punished. So it's sort of a wide range of outcomes here for Quinshon Judkins. How are you guys seeing the situation? How are you playing it with your drafts?
I think Judkins personally, only based on what I heard from Drew Davenport, who's my sole source for all of this. But
Yep.
it sounds like 5-6 games maybe, but also 5-6 games in the beginning of the year is easy to replicate. Like, you're not even worried about that. So you would just take an ADP dip. Also for a coaching staff and organization that like gladly took on Deshaun Watson despite all the things. Like, I doubt honestly, they're probably not. Nothing else is going to happen once Judkins returns to the team. So I like both Sampson and Ford. I like Jerome Ford a lot, actually, just because he did prove in previously playing wide receiver, he is the pass catching back there, and that's probably the more likely option to get there when you're talking about Judkins being the early down bruiser, similar to Nick Chubb, who really didn't earn a target share at all in college. But at the same time, Judkins can absolutely still get there if he's able to return in 5 or 6 games, or in your case, like you said, not get suspended at all. He's going to be on the field.
What about what Peppertoni says here? So this is my concern, because if it is 5 or 6 games and he's not practicing, like not really getting reps in with the team, then I start being pretty concerned about drafting him.
I would have an issue. It depends on where he falls. I think you posed the question pretty well, because it's like everyone has a price, right, Neil? Like at a certain point, you're gonna talk yourself into drafting someone, even people you don't like. Like someone asked me about Chris Olave, like when would you draft? At a certain point, I would draft him if he fell. So there is a price. I do think it's late because I do worry about just like the no practice thing. My thing though is, does he even get suspended this year? I think it's still very questionable. The NFL is, I feel like they're always too late with stuff like this. They always want to wait until they know a lot of the facts. Now, like you said, if there's like pictures and there's whatever, and maybe they have enough facts to just act on it, then, maybe it does happen. But I'm still questioning if that's the case. I agree with Daigle, though, about Ford. And I don't think his ADP will take as much of a hit as Sampson. Like Sampson's going to fly up draft boards, whereas Ford will slowly creep up there. And my view of Cleveland is they were going to use 3 backs anyways. I think what they did, Jerome Ford's on the last year of his deal. They drafted 2 running backs, 2 rookies. It's like the vet's going to get some work, I think. They were just so bad running the football, but a lot of times their offensive line was just so poor that they struggled to run it all, and then it would get them in obvious passing situations. That's why they one of the reasons why they led the league in passing attempts overall as a team. Not because they wanted to do that. It wasn't a plan. They just couldn't run the football efficiently. So
we are on the clock. We're at pick 190. Jerome Ford is still here if we want him. Brashard Smith is there. Taj Brooks. Who
I like all these guys. Brashard Smith is fine by me. Probably don't want to go forward with Dylan Sampson.
With Sampson.
Yeah, we're betting on one or the other.
I like Smith and I like Shipley, so one of those two.
Okay.
We might be able to get both too.
Yeah.
I like Shipley as well.
We could also Jalen Noel is still here. He falls so much on DraftKings. Like Jalen Noel is like, you can basically get him every draft if you want to.
He seems like a good bet on DraftKings. Like as a player, he seems like he'd fit nicely if he somehow, Christian Kirk goes down, he slides into the Kirk role. I could see that, working out. But it might be a later week type of play. He might not get as much run first, 5-6 weeks. It might be a guy that you're slotting in later. But at this point, you only need a couple weeks from these guys, like at the end, right?
Right. We're already to round 17. I think we're maybe just starting round 17 here. So we're not asking a ton from these players.
But so my point with Quizshawn was, I didn't understand why he was going that high in the beginning. I think it was more just his profile as a runner in college was so good. And Daigle, maybe you can speak to that, because I felt like he was one of the best running backs from just a running perspective, not a total running back profile, from a running perspective in college football.
We're on the clock. Before you answer that, just
go Will Shipley.
All right, I like Will Shipley here.
The chat also made a good point. Who Hames says, I should no longer call Judkins a bruiser. You're correct. I'm going to start using between the tackles runner moving forward. I did not think about that whatsoever. And to your point, John, he was one of the best between the tackles runner coming out. He literally profiles like Nick Chubb. He's a big guy who can make contact and yards after contact for himself, whereas Travion Henderson was the more explosive option because he was also a pass catcher. 19 catches and 3 or 4 seasons at Ohio State. Travion Henderson also 7.5 yards per touch last year. That was not Judkins at all. He's more of the goal line guy.
Yeah, I was hoping, like, in my head when I was watching college football, I was like, man, the Chargers would be like great fall for someone like Judkins or something like that, just like a bruiser type, you know. But then he falls to Cleveland. I'm like, man, this is like one of the worst spots. I don't think they're gonna just sell out. That was my opinion, though. I don't think they're gonna. I didn't think they were gonna sell out with him as like the all in like number one runner. I thought they were going to use multiple backs anyways. So I thought at his ADP, unless their offensive line got much better, you know, run blocking, which I'm not sure about. Like, I thought they were going to struggle anyways, a little bit running the football. That was just my take. So I was kind of out on Cleveland running backs then, outside of Sampson, because he was just going at the end of drafts. I could just take him and on DraftKings, like, I felt like he was a decent bet for 1 or 2 weeks anyways. So
beyond running the ball, they're just going to struggle on offense in general. I believe they are projected for the fewest points per game, the lowest totals in the league. Like, it's not going to be pretty.
Isn't that good for Jerome Ford though? Like, just as the pass,
that's
I think he's
my
probably the best
view
pass
of
catching
it
back
too.
JJ Zacharyson sort of talked me into Jerome Ford as like a late round pick also for that reason.
Yeah,
because he's a pretty good pass catcher.
I don't know if either of you are doing like season-long leagues on FFPC already, but I do have Jerome Ford in a couple of those $350 options just because, like, this time of the year when you're drafting, you're really just drafting guys in those last 5 to 7 rounds that are behind the starters that could get injured in the preseason. It's like I just have all these bums stacked up like Jerome Ford. It's like, oh, they could walk into a new role instead of me having to cut them in week 1. So
I agree with Josh too in the chat. He says he's making $1 million this year. Ford is not in their plans. Exactly. He's not in their plans, and he's a running back. So he's a vet. They're going to use him a little bit early to get those rookies up to speed because they're not worried about tread or his volume of touches, right? They're going to use him, and then they're going to let him walk at the end of the year, and they got their 2 guys for the year after. They're not going to sign him. I 100% agree. That's why I think he's going to play earlier and then get phased out late. That's more my point because he's a vet. So, you know, like, he probably plays early, and that's my whole point by that. I agree, though. They don't care about him.
Yeah, no, that seems likely. I mean, they drafted 2 rookie running backs, spent pretty good draft capital on them. So yeah, I don't think he's part of their long-term plans either. But yeah, certainly doesn't need to hurt him this year that significantly. Should we? So we are at a 2-7-6-2 build. We
need more wide receivers. Like, we have to have more wide receivers.
Yeah, we could also Tyler Shuck would make sense on this team since we have Rashid Shaheed potentially.
I'm a 3 quarterback guy. Daigle, what are you? Because I'm
a 3 quarterback guy.
3.
Yeah. In June and July, I'm 3 quarterback. When we get to August and have more news, I'm going to start getting more surgical and taking chances on 2 quarterback.
Yeah.
Do we want Tyler Shuck here, or is there anybody else that we like here at wide receiver?
I think this stack makes the most sense for Shuck, right?
Yeah,
I do
just
too.
thinking, unless there's somebody else that we need to have here, but I think Shuck,
Nah, it's fine.
Okay.
Don't mind Shuck at all.
How many picks left? What round are we in right now?
We are 18, so we have 2 more picks left. So
we need 2 receivers.
Yeah, we have Rashee Rice, George Pickens, Xavier Worthy, Ricky Pearsall, Rashid Shaheed, Josh Palmer. Yes, we could add a couple of receivers. Anybody you particularly like in these late rounds? Either of you?
I like Nick Westbrook-Akine from Miami. I think they added him for a reason. They struggled getting the ball to the outside, you know, in the goal line situations, and he at least showed that he can, you know, beat, you know, one-on-one and get to the end zone. And I think they need someone who's a little bigger just in stature. They have a lot of fast speed on the outside. I think they needed someone like him, and he fits well as like the 3rd guy. And they rotate their receivers a lot because of how, like, 100% those guys go on their deep routes, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. So I think it just fits.
Ray McLeod, Dontavian Wicks right at the top. Those are kind of my guys too.
All right. Who can we wait on from this group? So we're by ADP.
From VLA, Franklin, Westbrook.
No,
I feel like
should we go?
Whoever y'all want.
Ray
Y'all,
probably
Ray Ray's at the highest here.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
probably the highest. So
by ADP of the names mentioned, I think he was the highest.
Falcons led the league in 3 wide receiver sets, which is why Ray McLeod finished top 20 in routes run last year. And then Michael Penix, when he went under center, led the all NFL quarterbacks in air yards per attempt. Given their schedule as well, like there's dark horse chances here where Penix leads the league in passing yards because their defense is also horrific. So I kind of like tacking on like Penix in the later rounds, plus getting these stacking options with him, not Kyle Pitts.
Love the Falcons. I love the take because they didn't really get much on offense. They tried to stack up on defense. So like you know what like guys are gonna play. Like it's not like they added that many pieces offensively. So I think their offense is very like you got Drake and Darnell and Ray, and then you got Bijan and Algier, and you got Kyle. Like it's just the offense. A lot of these guys go later outside of like Bijan and Drake. I agree 100%. I think they're one of the best offenses to stack because they're going to be trailing a lot.
What do you guys think of, by the way, Dontavian Wicks went 1 pick before. I was looking for Dontavian Wicks. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't see him. He went 1 pick before us. What do you guys think of this thought on Deontay Johnson? Could he potentially get right and be like a huge late round hit?
Gosh, I said this about J.K. Dobbins last year, and I was totally wrong on J.K. Dobbins. So I don't want to knock anyone, but I just feel like if Deontay Johnson gets right, then I'm just gonna get wrong. Like that's it. Like I'm just I'm not gonna win. I was gonna
say to you, don't you dare hold back, John, on Deontay Johnson. The man doesn't even like the cold, okay? And he's in Cleveland. All right. Yeah. I don't know about that. And I worry about like Kenny Pickett. Who knows what this team does? Like, let's say Joe Flacco does start, but they're bad. What happens if they go like 2-7? Or something like that. And then they start trying out Kenny Pickett, and then they try out Gabriel or like what happens in those situations where they're just going from quarterback to quarterback? These wide receivers don't have the chemistry. Like I worry a lot about stuff like that. I do think they're going to pass a lot, but they're probably not going to be in a ton of like scoring situations. Like Daigle said, they're, what are they? The odds on favorite to score the least amount of points or something like that. So I worry about it, but he is a last round pick. I mean, I guess you're not,
I still can't believe like anytime you pull up their roster, it is Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, and Kenny Pickett. Like it's incredible. How did that happen?
They have another.
Joe Flacco was terrible.
Dylan Gabriel.
He was better than He was better than Anthony Richardson. He was terrible last year, and he was still better than Anthony Richardson. That's so bad.
It's so bad.
Got a couple. Elijah Moore, a name thrown out there. Team names MVS. Mythology says Mythology. By the way, we're starting a new show next Monday. Me and Mythology.
I didn't even see Mythology. Yeah, love his work.
Yeah, he's a sharp dude. I love the MVS call too. I think he's going to play a lot. And Sam Darnold was one of the best deep ball passers in the league last year. When you look at his numbers and statistics, like he dominated. Now leaving Minnesota might hurt him a little bit, but MVS might fit perfectly with Sam Darnold as like a late round guy.
Darnold's got an arm, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We still have Nick Westbrook-Ikhine here. I'll throw.
That was the first person that JSU mentioned, so we can go him. Westbrook-Ikhine, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Also,
if we had better options like stacking options, MVS, certainly, led that team in receiving yards whenever he joined Clint Kubiak, so he's at least familiar with the system.
All right, we got him. We got NWI. We're going to go with a hyphen there. Either way, we go with NWI. And I think ultimately pretty strong team here. It's 3-7-8-2. We went Patrick Mahomes, Bijan Robinson, Jalen Warren, Rashee Rice, George Pickens, Xavier Worthy, Trey McBride, Ricky Pearsall. Our bench, we have Brock Purdy, Rashid Shaheed, Zach Charbonnet, Javonte Williams, Dallas Goedert, Dylan Sampson, Josh Palmer, Brashard Smith, Will Shipley, Tyler Shuck, Ray McLeod, and Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. We're pretty well correlated here. We got Mahomes double stacked with Rice and Worthy. We've got Purdy single stacked with Ricky Pearsall. We've got Shuck single stacked with Rashid Shaheed. Pretty strong team, I think. What do you guys think?
I mean, I like it. I wish we had a bear or something to go with San Francisco for that 17. I'm a big fan of that game. I think that game could smash. Pretty sure it's in San Francisco too, which is nice, not in Chicago. But
yeah.
Other than that, I mean, I think we did a pretty. I like how we waited on running back too. Like when I take a stud like Bijan, I like doing stuff like that where we try and pepper the wide receiver range. And obviously we took McBride, but yeah, I think it was a pretty solid draft.
And when we go 3 quarterbacks at this time, since both Jason and I are into that approach on DraftKings, I do usually wait for that third guy between Tyler Shuck, Jackson Dart, Geno Smith, and Bryce Young sometimes falls as well. That's kind of the big 4.
Yeah, I'm really high on 2 of those 4. Bryce Young and Geno Smith I like quite a bit. Tyler Shuck.
Actually, you like the good ones. You got to like the shitty ones.
I like the good ones, but I draft the shitty ones a lot. So to be clear, I'm with you on drafting all 4 of those. I feel really good about drafting.
Jackson Dart is very good, though. By the way, like he's awesome.
What about what's the Cam Ward take? You brought up Bryce Young. What about Ward in that range? Because I'm a pro Cam Ward for fantasy. I don't know how good he's going to be like long term. But just from a fantasy standpoint in that offense, I think we're going to see Tennessee have some decent I think they're going to play in some shootout games, which I think is going to surprise some people. But I think we're going to see them play in more shootout games this year with Cam Ward, who should be, you hope he's going to be better than Will Levis and Rudolph and those guys.
So Cam Ward, well, like Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel, Brian Callahan went out immediately in the offseason and improved the offensive line. Like 3 new additions, shifted everyone around again to help out Cam Ward. And Ward finished second in this class with yards per attempt from a clean pocket, only behind Jackson Dart. But like more so than just the stats for Ward and just his peripherals, I like the fact that you can stack him late. That's why it makes it so easier, even easier than Tyler Shuck, because you always have Chigokonkwo and Alec Iomanor like right there to add on to Cam Ward in many stacks. And so that's what makes me appealed to Ward more than anything.
Exactly. Mike, that's why Mike Chig, you guys heard Chig was one of my highest exposure guys just overall on DraftKings. The Chig Cam Ward stacks are very, very easy to do. And I get them often. I do like Restrepo too. I just like the connection thing that they have. So, and you can get him at the end. So I like him just so I'm not always going. What's the kid's name that you just said? I can never say his name right.
Alec Iomanor.
Alec Iomanor.
Yeah.
So I'm not always doing that with Chig. You know what I mean? I like the
Chig closed the year good too. His 3 highest target shares came in the last month of the season. So there might be a little something there.
Yeah.
We just got the influencers 101, by the way. I needed to get 2 people on to get the 101. We just got this.
Okay, well, I love you both, but I do have to leave. I
have to leave. Okay,
I do. Right. I'm sorry. I have a very busy day. I joined you for 1 draft. I promised 1 draft. I'm so sorry.
We only got 1 draft of that vacation Hawaiian shirt. Unbelievable.
And also, who was in the chat? So, James in the chat said, I'd love to be in JSU's head when Daigle is spitting out these advanced stats. Like, no, JSU and I understand each other. That's why we work so well together.
That's right. That's true. I love
that's how you defeat Big T.
Give me advanced stats.
Yeah. I love you both, but yes, 1 draft. But Neil, definitely bring me back on again. Maybe with another Run Pure Sports guy, since I do subscribe to the MLB package. I watch every show with Boynton, Draft Cheat, Big T, Stats, JT, the list goes on. So I support all the work at Run Pure Sports as well, JSU.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, another time we'll get Daigle back on. Daigle, thanks a lot for joining us for that one.
Of course, boys. Love you all, and have fun with the chat.
All right, later, Daigle. I just assumed because he was supposed to be joining us right now, but I'm glad we got that draft in with the. Now I got to do this again.
Yeah, now you got to switch it up.
Yep. Oh no, this is not working out how I wanted to. All right, that works. That works just as well, I think. All right, are we Jamar Chase 101?
Yeah. I mean, so me personally, I'm just taking an underweight stance on Chase, but again, I don't get the number 1 pick very often. I'll be honest though, when I do, I like going just a different route because I feel like everyone just goes Chase. That's just me personally, but I got Jefferson. You know, I'm big on Bijan, CD Lamb. But
do you want to do something? Do you want to do Jefferson instead?
I'm cool with that. I do that. I do that just because I feel like everyone who gets the 1-1, they do the same thing. Like,
and we
just
took Jamar Chase. I
so
tried
if
to
we
move Jefferson
take
up front.
Chase, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I hate taking T or Chase Brown with him because I think that's what everyone does. And
yeah, that is pretty common.
Ultimately, Jamar Chase showed that like T Higgins, if he's in and out, like Jamar Chase is going to smash. We can always get like Yoshivas if we want to do, or Gesicki if we want to do like a full on Bengal stack with Joe Burrow. I just think everyone does the T or Chase because they always fall to the wraparound. So I hate doing the same thing as everyone else. I'm trying to like get more unique with certain picks where I know what everyone's doing and I know what everyone's not doing. You know what I mean? So like the 1 and the turn, the 12 are like the 2 picks where I try and go off the board a little bit more than maybe most. Like I got the 12 the past 2 drafts on DK, and I think one of them I went like Jonathan Taylor, Brian Thomas, because I get that like combo, and I don't think many people get those 2 as a combo because most of the time they're second round picks. So like you're just not going to get them together as much. So I've been trying to do stuff like that on the turns.
We just saw Ricky Pearsall go with the 1.4 here, by the way.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know you could be a bigger Ricky Pearsall fan than me, but that is, we might be in for a doozy of a draft here, Neil.
It's a little bit of a concern that we're going to have our 101 draft get thrown out, but we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the draft goes for him. Maybe misclick. Maybe he has just a huge ball.
I had a team in I think it was the 2 spot. I literally tweeted it out. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a team I did a draft, and he took, I think it was his first 9 or 11 picks. They were all like, there was 1 receiver, and the rest were like quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs, just 1 receiver in the first 11 picks. I was like, this is fun. Jared Goff going in the 2nd round. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was not a super flex league. It was a
no, it was a $20 DK best ball. So
that's crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this one is just that 1 pick so far that is off. So who knows? We'll see how the rest of the draft goes. We can still hold out some hope that this is not going to get
here. Maybe just a San Francisco guy.
He could just be a huge San Francisco fan.
But then take CMC and then Ricky Pearsall in the 2nd round, you know?
Yeah. I see a lot of familiar face here. Fantasy Guru Drew here in the 9 hole. Who else do we get into this draft? I recognize Fact 74 was in the last one.
He's a Guru Drew sharp. Why is he in this draft with us? Come on.
Is he? Have you talked to the guy? I don't know. I don't know about that.
I've never met him. I've never met him, but I know he's pretty good at DFS. I've seen him up in the leaderboards a few times. So I know he knows what he's doing a little bit. He might pretend like he's not sharp, but I think that's just I think he's just putting on a facade. You know what I mean? He's just trying to fake like he isn't.
Fantasy Guru, one of the moderators on this channel, takes his work very seriously. Drew is actually going to be joining on a Friday night stream this week, along with Chicago Cubs pitcher Justin Steele and Debro going to be coming back on the channel as well. So that should be fun. Yeah, Drew, love that start for Drew. Got Puka and Nico to start. That's a pretty rare start, I think. Puka and Nico coming all the way back to number 16 there for him. So he's also, I think, hoping that this draft does not get thrown out. We're gonna find out pretty soon what Jeremy Fleming
what this guy picks here is gonna depend on it. I'm a big fan of Nico in the 2nd round. I think probably him and Drake London are my 2 favorite 2nd round picks just overall. I think the Drake London ceiling is going to be interesting because I think he has a chance to be like a top 3 wide receiver just with the offense, what he's got to deal with from a competition standpoint. What Penix showed when he played in those 3 games was pretty impressive, how much he was going to Drake London.
Do you like the Bucky Irving, T. Higgins, Tyreek Hill, Josh Jacobs, Chase Brown? So you don't like Higgins and Chase. Do you like any of these other guys?
I like Bucky Irving a little bit.
Strong pick. We could is Garrett Wilson here? Is he
I do like Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams. That's like my favorite go-to when I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Which is your
Bucky Irving?
preference?
I got Garrett Wilson. but they are the same buy. But where are you at with them?
I'm cool with Garrett Wilson. Yeah, I have a lot more Devonta Adams and Garrett Wilson, so let's up my exposure to Garrett Wilson here.
There
And he
you
probably
go.
doesn't
All
come
right.
at this turn that often.
No,
to
I
your
would
point,
doubt
so I have not looked up these combos. You can do it with the DraftKings data. They put out data for all of their drafts through June 27th, so you can kind of look through with very minimal coding. You can look up like how often combos are taken together, and it is like Chase with Higgins, Chase with McBride are like extremely common. Whereas if you pull up one of these other players, you get something a little bit more unique.
And I do think there's a lot of like people, especially people who are starting to draft now. Like if you haven't been drafting for a while and you're just starting now, I do think it's definitely a good idea to go look and see what some of the higher combos are. If they're putting that info out, you might as well use it, because that can help you try and differentiate yourself. You might lose on some of the ADP dips or that you're going to see fluctuate from May to now, but you could win just on uniqueness based off of kind of fading some of the popular combos or starts, So I don't know about you. I kind of like that they did it, to be honest with you. I think it's interesting.
I think it's interesting too. Like it's one of those things that's fun, and people complain about like, well, now you're just giving people who know how to do that stuff a big edge. I'll just tell you, I had no idea how to do it. I've never done any Python coding, anything like that. It took me about an hour to start being able to sort this stuff. Like it's really not tough at all.
Yeah.
To figure out.
I'm not gonna lie. I called like two of my buddies and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna need your help." And they're like, "Okay." And so that's pays to have friends, I guess. But what are you gonna do? Just
Establish the Run also put out like a database where you can check some combos, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
I use ChatGPT. So like I didn't like take a course or anything. I just went to ChatGPT and said, "Hey, how do I do this?" And it's really easy using
that's what they told me to do. They just walked me through it, and I did the same thing. So I would definitely recommend people or like you said, go find the article. If people are putting out some of the data that they're finding, go read the stuff on that and see, because I definitely think it helps, especially people that are just starting to draft now. Because like me and you, I feel like you've been drafting for a little while. Like you kind of know a lot of, from doing the drafts, you see a lot of what people are doing. You kind of know, like you said with Guru Drew, like Puka Nico, like that's probably a little unique. Like just the start might be a little unique. So like you kind of can tell.
Also good to see that Jeremy has come back around from Pearsall goes McBride and Jacob. So he is at this point, I would not expect this to be thrown out. I think probably a misclick, maybe an error with he queued somebody up accidentally kind of thing here. But so far drafting
who knows? Normally, maybe he moved him up the board and somehow like moved him all the way up like on his ranks or something like that. It was just like an error or something.
That'd be my guess. Yeah, some kind of misclick, typo, and I don't know if he set his rankings or something. But otherwise, pretty normal draft so far.
Yeah, at least he went like two good players after that, so we kind of know it's not going to be that bad. But let's see here. So we started out. Where are we at? Chase, Bucky, Garrett Wilson.
It's a good point. Drew says maybe this is Ricky Pearsall just wanted to draft himself. He knows something we don't know.
I'm not going to lie. If I was a football player and I got to do a best ball draft, I would totally draft myself 1-1. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
It's $20. Yeah, I definitely do it.
Yeah. Show people like bring up that ADP, kind of rise that player's stock in people's minds. I mean, one draft, you're not actually going to be able to move the ADP at all, but for sure. Easy.
Maybe you do it a couple times, just to move it up a little bit. I'm 70. I'll show you. I'm going to move myself up to 69. Give yourself a nice bump to 69.
We are almost on the clock. So we could get. I mean, we already have Chase. We could throw Burrow onto the stack. Could potentially do a Devonta Smith and Jalen Hurts thing if we wanted to.
Ooh, that's
interesting. He goes Jonnu Smith. Okay. In any interest in
just when we were talking you up too. Just when we were talking you up.
That was a different person.
Oh, that was a different person. Okay.
I think.
What do you think? Do you want Burrow or do you want to try the the Hurts Smith, because I
kind
think
of like
that's
Hurt
interesting.
Smith. I kind of
Me
like Hurt
too.
Smith
Let's
better.
do that.
If I can find,
Because again,
where
that's
did
another.
Devonta Smith go?
That's
Oh, no,
another
he's
thing.
here. He's here.
I think, most people are trying to get Joe Burrow at least when they take Chase. So like us going with another elite quarterback, different elite quarterback. That's got to be a little different. Same bye week too. Are they 10? Or no, they're not 10, right?
No, they're not 10. They're 9. The Eagles.
No, they might have been 10 last year. Okay.
Yeah. So we now have 2 different teams that are going pretty weird here. So we had Urich goes normal through 3 rounds with Saquon Barkley, Rashee Rice, Chase Brown. Then he goes Jonnu Smith at pick 47. Then back to normal with Ted McMillan. Don't know what to make of that.
Draft is going to be a doozy, Neil. I feel good about this draft. I think we're
yeah. The trouble is we're on the end, so we don't like. Usually it's people like in the middle of the board who are going to benefit more from a super.
Damn
weird
it,
draft.
you're right.
We'll get maybe a slight bit of value, but yeah.
The good thing is 2 of the teams that are doing it are kind of right before we pick coming back.
True. It is those 2, or I guess, two of the 3 teams right before us. But yeah, I mean, we might benefit a little bit. Well, hopefully they're not so weird that it gets thrown out though. So far it's
another player I see going. I feel like he keeps going higher and higher is Alvin Kamara.
I mean, on DK with the full PPR, like I get it. That is pretty early.
I get it. It's just like rookie quarterback, different offense. Like I think there's a lot there. We saw them kind of like slowly shut him down. I feel like last year, try out different guys. That they're not going to be good. So what happens like week 14 when you're trying to get to advancement and they slow down on Alvin Kamara because they want to give other people a chance,
right.
Or week 15 when you're in the playoffs. It's just like, I don't know if I want to with my round 4 pick. Okay. It's different with like round 10, but like with my round 4 pick, I don't know if I want to take that chance that I think is very likely, honestly.
It does seem fairly likely. I mean, we saw it last year, right? Didn't they? I think they started resting their players a little bit late. So yeah, it's definitely and like now they have Tyler Shuck at quarterback. Like they did not upgrade their quarterback situation. It's definitely.
And it could be sooner, depending on how that division rolls. Like remember that division was all kind of like clumped up and stuff like that. Like what if one team just is way better than everyone else, and who knows? They might just wrap it up even quicker.
Yeah. I am the guy says I think this is the Puka Nico combo, 9% as of 627. So not super rare so far. Or I think what he's saying is 9% of the Puka teams have Nico Collins on them, would be my assumption of what he means, which is actually fairly rare. Like it's a fairly rare combo. But yeah, not completely
I would have thought it was a little lower than that, honestly, but
me too.
It's not super high either. We're not talking, 33% or 20%. Those are kind of the combos. Like I would assume people drafting Chase are taking at least T or Chase in almost every draft.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They, maybe not every
like
draft,
30,
but yeah, it's definitely one of the more. I think Chase and Higgins is like 30% or something like that. 30%. If I'm remembering right.
Those are the ones I'm trying to look for.
Yeah, no, that's a good call. Joe Burrow still has not gone, which is kind of shocking. Where's the T Higgins drafter?
Did we already get past? There's the Chase Brown draft.
Oh, you went past the T Higgins drafter.
Oh wow.
I mean, now do we want him? Like, I think we take him at our pick, right? Like, it'd be so rare to get this combo.
I don't like doing it, but it's so rare that I think we have to because we got the back-to-back picks too. So like, we can't pass up 2 picks in a row. At what point do you just take a quarterback naked?
No, he goes. He goes.
There he goes.
Bella Marley says pick 70 is where you do it. Okay. Juwan Jennings is here. You're more of a Ricky Pearsall already went, so we can't go Ricky Pearsall. Jacoby Myers, David Montgomery, Jordan Addison. Anybody you like here?
I mean, I do like Jennings. I think that the Addison thing is interesting too. I like the Vikings as a team.
I do too.
So, I mean, we could go with Jennings and and Addison if you wanted to take a
Yeah, I'm
shot
happy
on
to do
those
that.
two guys.
Definitely. Then we can potentially hope that McCarthy falls back to us at 120, maybe.
Yeah, he's another quarterback I'm really high on. I got a bunch of JJ McCarthy, so that's kind of where I've been getting my quarterbacks, is in that range. That like Caleb Williams, Brock Purdy, JJ McCarthy, that stretch. Like I'm almost always nabbing a quarterback in that range. Justin Fields, like
Yeah, me too.
those are my
Pretty
quarterbacks.
common range for me also. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I just think it's just such a loaded range. That
WFN
could be an
says,
upgrade.
yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't know Shuck's game all that well. But
Yeah,
maybe even more dump offs.
he's got like massive arm strength. I don't really know. I'm not like Daigle. I not like the college profiler coming into the NFL, but I'm pretty sure he's got really strong arm. Maybe he does profile. He probably is better than Spencer Rattler. I don't know if he's. I mean,
Yeah,
Derek Carr's not
I
amazing,
would
but I
assume
don't know
so.
if he's Derek Carr. But maybe he is an upgrade to Spencer Rattler. That's probably a good point overall. I still don't know if that means, though, that this team is just going to massively improve, unless you're just saying it's a weak division. You never know. Maybe they can, stay afloat or stay at least somewhat competitive, I guess, in a weak division. In my mind, I don't see how they're not the fourth team. Like even
Yeah,
Carolina, I think, is better than them. And I'm
I
not a
think so
big
too.
fan of Carolina, but like I think they're better than it's just so
I'm with you. I think that it's likely that they are worst in their division. Yeah, it's tough. I don't like him where he went. I'll still take shots just because the PPR upside is so high, but like I'm not reaching to take Alvin Kamara at pick 45. If he falls to me at like 60, I'm pretty happy to get him there.
that's the
Where's your line for
problem.
Kamara?
Yeah, I think it would be like 60 or
And you're
something
not
like
getting him
that.
there. Yeah.
60, 65, but you're never getting them there. Whereas earlier in drafts, I felt like he was falling more closer to that range. Maybe not that exact range, but closer to that range. Whereas now I feel like he's always going in that like mid to upper 40s. And I guess it is just the PPR upside. Probably people just, want that massive pass catching upside, which I get on DraftKings.
And you do see, we do see surprises every year of like teams that we assume are awful are actually better than expected. So maybe they do hold
100%.
on a little bit more.
100%.
We think they will.
I just think the NFC, like you see certain divisions and you're like, man, these divisions are kind of loaded. And then you just see like the clear division that's like not really loaded at all. And it's their division. Like that, the division with the Packers and the Vikings and the Lions, that division is going to be so competitive. Those are four really good teams. Like I think the Bears are going to be improved. You could see 3 playoff teams in there. That's like the thing. I think their division is clearly like the worst of all the NFC divisions.
Wait, sorry. Which division is that?
Is it the South, right? With the Bucks and the Saints and stuff. Whereas I think there's these other divisions where like I can see 2 to 3 teams easily coming out. They're
for a second, I thought you were saying the NFC North, and I was like, "That's insane." But no, yeah, I think I'm in agreement.
Yeah. NFC North is loaded.
Yeah, it's like any one of those teams, in my opinion, and maybe I'm a homer, but I think any one of those teams could come out on top in the NFC North.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. You could have 3 teams.
What up, WFN from the North Shore, and then Fact 74 was in the 12 hole here. Greetings from South Carolina. Good to see you guys from all over the U.S. Where's everybody else? Any other Minnesota people here? Also,
is that where you're from, Minnesota?
I'm in St. Paul.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so you're a Vikings fan.
I am a Vikings fan. Yeah, so I'm a little bit biased with some of my takes.
So JJ McCarthy, your QB1?
Oh, big time. Love JJ McCarthy. Yeah,
I actually do like Jay. I think he's going to be good. I believe in the offense. I believe in the coach. Like what he did with Sam Darnold was very impressive. I think the Rams defense was just peaking at the right time, and everyone's like, "Oh, he showed his true colors. Like that's the real Sam Darnold." It's like I don't know. It might have been the real Rams. Like that kind of showed out at that point.
All right, Justin Fields goes. We could go Jalen Warren. Could go Bo Nix. Anybody you like here? I don't know. This is tough.
Yeah, this is a tough range. I'd be fine with Bo Nix. I think Darnell Mooney as a faller is interesting. Ibuka's gone, right? I'd be fine with Bo Nix.
Yeah. All right, we go Bo Nix to potentially set up a stack there. What about do we want to throw on Evan Ingram to our Bo Nix?
You know what? We don't have a tight end, right?
We don't have a tight end.
Yeah, let's get Evan Ingram. I like that. Now we got that set up at least with the tight end and the stack going. And the good thing about Bo Nix is throughout the whole draft, you get a chance to like get a piece or two. So you always can get like 2 pieces easy of Bo Nix.
Oh, the Stoic in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. I've been there.
Yeah, Mass. Love that.
Where are you, JSU?
So I'm like Central Mass. I'm at Worcester, Mass area.
Okay. Worcester.
So
yeah.
Worcester. Yeah, we're like 45 minutes west of Boston.
Yeah, I went to school at Tufts, like right outside of Boston.
Okay.
So,
nice.
Lived in the area for 6 years.
Nice. Yeah. Yep. I know that. I went to school in Newton, Mass.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
I worked at a law firm in Newton for a couple of years after law school.
Oh, cool.
As a legal assistant. I was not a lawyer at the time, just as a legal assistant.
Okay. There you go. That's crazy. But you're from Minnesota? You just went to school out here? Okay.
Yeah, just went out there for school. Came back. Lived in Boston area for about 6 years, and then New York for a couple of years, and then I've been Minnesota basically the rest of my life.
Yeah, chat. You see my Worcester accent?
Worcester. Yeah. I've never noticed that you have an accent. You do not have the strong masshole accent.
Just a slight one. It's a slight one. No, but
maybe I'm just used to it too, because again, I lived out there. A lot of my friends are from Massachusetts.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Did you know anyone out here, or like the Worcester area?
Or almost certainly, but I don't remember where everybody's from. Like it's so I would assume that I was on the track and cross country teams, and a lot of my friends were local, like from around Massachusetts. I guess so I'm pretty sure I knew people from Worcester, but I cannot remember who those people are, like where people are from generally. What's
the dude who took Pearsall? Where's he at right now? I want to see. Is there any other?
Good idea. So he goes Pearsall, McBride, Jacobs, Kamara, Chuba Hubbard, Jerry Jeudy, Jacoby Myers, Brian Robinson, Dak Prescott, just totally normal after the Ricky Pearsall pick. And then the guy who took John, who goes Ted McMillan, Chris Olave, Cooper Kupp, Justin Fields, totally normal. So they each just take one pick way ahead of ADP, and everybody else pretty normal.
Throwing off the board a little bit, just to throw a wrench.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get another one here coming up.
Yeah, I have not noticed any other huge wrenches in the board.
No, yeah, it was really just those two, and Joe Burrow going to 70th or whatever it was. That's
this Kyron Williams at 33 pick seems pretty like a kind of a fish pick also. So I guess there's that one also from Fantasy Guru Drew, took Kyron Williams at pick 33. So there's
that's
that
guy you were saying. That's that fake sharp you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
right?
That the fish I was talking about earlier. Yeah, so he went Kyron Williams at pick 33.
Yeah. That guy. I heard he gets all his takes from professional baseball player Justin Steele. That's what I heard. So
Justin Steele has good takes. I mean,
Steele.
much better.
That's what I'm saying. All the good takes are from Steele. He just
exactly. Those are his good picks. Are just straight Steele whispering in his ear.
Also, Steele's a card guy, huh?
He is. He is.
So my family owns commercial real estate. One of our tenants is it's a card shop, so he's massive. The type of money they deal in cards is insane. When you start hearing the type of money they deal in cards,
but
it's a big card shop, so he can get like any card. Like he's a cool guy, but it's they're in one of our buildings. My family.
I used to be pretty involved in cards, like just buying and selling. Like I don't even I sort of collect them, but then I always after I have a card for too long, I get bored with it, and then I want a new one. So it's more like the wanting to see the new thing, open it up, then I sell. So I've done a fair amount of card buying and selling, and I think I've sold a
I
card
know
for
I know a bunch of people
5,000.
that are big into it. I
Yeah,
never got into it, but I know a ton of people that are big in the cards.
it sort of itches the like the gambling itch, scratches the
Yeah.
gambling itch somewhat. So yeah.
Oh,
Ooh,
I don't
we might have an
I don't want to
interesting.
speak out of turn right here.
What you never know what Urich is going to do. You
Yeah,
never know.
don't do it to us.
We did take Bo Nix too, so we don't really need.
That's a good point, actually. We don't really need it, but
It's kind of fun anyway, though.
it
We only have one running back so far, so we might want to do another.
Oh yeah, who are we liking here at running back? You like Ramondre? I'm not big into Scadaboo, but
Okay.
he's fallen. I think he's gonna be like the goal line guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's your take. Tyrone Tracy wasn't really good at the goal line. Definitely a better pass catcher because he was a receiver. I thought he got better running between the tackles too, but I think they clearly bought Scadaboo in to be like the goal line back.
Do you like Ramondre? I mean, we could go Najee.
I think Ramondre is definitely going lower than he should, considering that Henderson was always a split back guy in college, and that's where he was most efficient. So, like, you could make the case that Stevenson's the goal line back and gets early down work as well.
Let's do it. All right.
Yeah.
We got Ramondre Stevenson as our RB2, which tells us we probably need to catch up at running back a fair amount at this point.
Yeah, probably. I also think, though, and I don't know what you feel, but like the Giants offense and the Patriots offense, like which offense do you like more? Because I feel like the Patriots offense is going to be more improved with everything they've done. I'm not as high on the Giants offense, but that might be a hot take. I don't know.
I don't think that's really a hot take. I mean,
Okay.
you can get them fairly late too. Like both of the Giants running backs go past pick 100, other than Malik Neighbors, obviously. But it's like, yeah, everybody else. Wandale you get fairly late. Darius Slayton, Theo Johnson, like almost the entire offense is like really late round picks.
Besides,
but I'm with
Neighbors,
you. Besides Neighbors, yeah. And then the Patriots, it's like kind of similar. I mean, you got Travion Henderson early, Stephon Diggs at like pick 80 something.
Drafting Patriots is the problem.
Yeah, I mean,
like I don't think people like drafting the Patriots. They're not like fun to draft.
You're not paying attention to the entire industry if that's your take, because the leg up guys absolutely love drafting the Patriots. They're all about Drake May and
I will be honest. I don't know who the leg up guys are, so maybe I'm not a full best ball bro if I don't know who the leg up. I might have to look up the leg up guys if I.
Here, I'll show you.
I'm sorry if they're out there and they're listening and I don't know who they are, but I'll look you up after.
So it's Pat Corain's company.
Okay. I know who he is. Okay. I didn't know that was his company, but I do know who Pat Corain is. But I'm big in the Patriots too. I just like getting them later. Like I like backstacking Drake May. Like I don't need to get early guys with them like Hunter Henry. I can get later. Like it's just easy backstats. And he's got running upside, which I like from my quarterback.
James trolling you a little bit, says Jesus JSU.
I told you I'm not like a full best ball bro. That's why Neil I was his 54th guest because
yes, that's right. Because I was like,
I
don't really trust this guy's best ball. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see this this little sidekick I've got going on here. This is a legendary upside tool.
Okay.
So it's this is actually it's Sims. So do you know Shady Advice? You're a DFS guy, so you maybe know Shady Advice, one of the best players in the world. So he developed this using Pat Corain and Sacrilegious largely like do the rankings with years of NFL data. They do the rankings, and then Shady Advice does like the math behind the tool, and they sim out the season. So that's what we're looking at there, is based on their sims the best pick for our teams.
That's a sharp guy to do the math behind the tool. I'll say that. So I don't know him personally, but I know who he is. One of the best players out there. So
he's a good guy, and one of the sharpest people I've ever met. Yeah, definitely a good guy for that task. I don't know how he does it. I think most of us don't know how he does it. So
well, that's good. That's how he can sell. That's how he can sell it to the masses. And no one else knows how to do it. So
exactly,
it's cool though. So it's a sim tool for best ball, pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna have to check this out. It's the first time. It's probably the first time I paid attention to, like, I'm sure other people have like done it on a stream and I just haven't noticed it. But
yeah, I mean, a lot of streamers don't like to use tools because it sort of can take away from the conversation sometimes. Like, well, why don't we just do what the
Well, I
sim
think it
says?
does, right? Because essentially it's giving you kind of like who to take. So you're taking the back and forth conversation of, do you like X player or this player, I guess. But
Yeah. For us, though, I mean, I think Dallas Goedert does make a lot of sense for our Jalen Hurts team.
yeah, I was going to
as
say
a-
you're really high on Dallas Goedert, but he does make sense for this team. Are you getting a lot of Dallas Goedert in your drafts? I feel like
I am getting a ton of Dallas Goedert. Yeah.
he's a good pick where he's going. He's just one of those picks. Like, he's not an exciting pick.
No,
Like,
he's never exciting. I kind of think we need another running back too. We just have Bucky Irving, Ramondre Stevenson. Do you
We
like any of
definitely
these guys at the top? Trey Benson, Austin Eckler, Iggy's
I think
Algier.
Trey Benson's interesting because, like, Arizona, if James Conner gets hurt, I think his role could be big time. So I don't mind
Sure.
Trey Benson. And I don't mind where we're at with running back, just because, like I said, we can go 7 on DraftKings, and we can kind of get some late PPR guys to kind of fill in the role.
Shady just explained how he does it. It is in fact magic. That was kind of my guess. That's probably magic how he puts it all together.
Who doesn't like a little magic? Like a little
exactly.
magic.
By the way, Fantasy Drew says, you guys gonna make me come on and defend myself. I did send you a link, Drew, just in case you want to come on and defend your Kyren Williams pick.
Yeah, get on and defend yourself. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the Bears earlier, and I didn't get I want to hear your take on the Bears before I fully defend myself on my take, because you were shocked that Caleb Williams was my highest owned. Well, he might be my highest owned player overall. I think I have like 40% Caleb Williams on DraftKings right now.
So I was shocked because you were so out on him last year, because you told me that you were like Jaden Daniels over him last year. So I was like, oh, you completely
faded him like 0%
your
Caleb
opinion.
Williams.
Yeah, I mean, they add Ben Johnson to the offense. Right. So like I think I'm with you. I don't think that I have a massive stand on Caleb Williams, but I think it's because I'm a little bit behind ADP on both DJ Moore and Rome Odunze. So it's more like when I take when I get one of those guys, I will like prioritize Caleb Williams, absolutely. But where they're going to ADP, I'm just like, I'm not taking a ton of those two. So usually it's like I get a ton of Luther Burden. So sometimes I'll take Caleb Williams for the Luther Burden back stack or Colston Loveland. But yeah, so I think I'm pretty close to the field on Caleb Williams. It's not somebody that I have spent a ton of time
with Caleb Williams. It's not just the coaching, but coaching is a big piece of it. But when I watched Caleb Williams, there was 2 things that was wrong with Caleb Williams. Besides the coach, it was the offensive line, and it was clearly, and I'm no quarterback whisperer, but I could tell it was his footwork. His footwork, his mechanics were all off. That's why he had a lot of good plays and bad plays, and there was no like in the middle. Because like his mechanics were all off. It looked like he was sped up from the offensive line. Probably he felt like he had to constantly move, not be able to notice. He had how many throws where he like wouldn't reset his feet, Neil? He would like jump throw sometimes. Yep. And it's like all Ben Johnson has to do is fix the O-line, which he brought in 3 new offensive linemen. I think he's done a good job there. If he can just fix his footwork mechanics, I think Caleb Williams is going to have a monster. I think that's literally all he needs. It has nothing to do with the weapons, and the system's going to be there. He's going to run the football, take pressure off them. I think it's just a smash play, and I think people are missing it because they watched it last year and it didn't work.
Yeah, it's hard to erase what you've seen in the past. Dylan Sampson is here, like right at ADP again, and I think we need a running back. Any objection to Dylan Sampson as one of our picks?
Do it.
And then based on ADP, Kyle Pitts, Jack Besh, Xavier Leggett, Romeo Dobbs, anybody else? Rico Dowdle.
I don't have much Rico Dowdle. Do we want to go? What do we have? 3 running backs or 4? 4, right?
We're at 4 now.
It seems like are you high on Dobbs? I don't. He's another guy I don't have a ton on, but I don't mind.
I'm pretty high on Dobbs. Yeah.
All right, let's take Dobbs then. I don't mind that. I think Green Bay, I want the later guys. So like Dobbs or Wicks or Lloyd or Tucker. I like Tucker Kraft as a tight end, but like
I do
those are the
too.
guys I like. If I don't like the early guys, I don't like Jaden Reed. He gets taken off the field too much. If it's not 3 wide receiver sets, I was so annoyed last year. Even though I didn't have a ton, I would watch Green Bay a lot because I had a lot of Jordan Love and Tucker Kraft. They were like two of my highest. Tucker Kraft's one of my highest owned tight ends, and I would just watch it, and I would just get frustrated watching Jaden Reed for DFS because he's completely hit or miss because he was not on the field a ton, and it just drove me nuts. So maybe he's on the field more this year. I don't know, but they drafted Matthew Golden, and another receiver too. I'm blanking his name.
Savion Williams. Yeah.
Savion Williams. And they still have got Dobbs and Wicks, who I think are good outside receivers. So what's Reed's role? Plus, they have Christian Watson, who is apparently ahead of schedule. I don't think he's going to be a thing this year, but he is ahead of schedule. What's going to be Reed's role? I don't see it changing.
Yeah, and it is definitely a concern. I mean, he was like a 70% route runner or something like that last year. I do take some Reed just as a bet on talent. I think I take Green Bay kind of throughout because like Reed, I think is like okay where he goes. Matthew Golden, I don't have a strong take on Reed versus Matthew Golden. I feel like those are like people. It's a big conversation which of those to prefer. I think I've come around to mostly betting on the upside of the rookie there, but I definitely like my strongest take. So I'm like probably not too far off the field on the early Green Bay picks, but other than I'm definitely below field on Josh Jacobs. But my strongest Green Bay takes absolutely are really love Tucker Kraft. I actually really love taking Jordan Love, and then Romeo Dobbs, probably one of my highest exposed players on DraftKings. I just think he goes too late for a guy who is in a pretty good offense that's going to be throwing a lot. He's on the field 85-90% of routes in general. So I'm definitely pretty high on Romeo Dobbs, and I'll even mix in a little bit of Dontavian Wicks, Savion Williams, etc. Oh, you're muted.
That's my bad. That's strike one. If you told me that Dobbs or Wicks was their wide receiver one for fantasy, I wouldn't be stunned. And you can get them like 60, 70, 80 picks later. Like that's why I'm just going to make a bet that there's a chance that one of those two guys outscores a Matthew Golden and or a Jaden Reed, which I think is actually possible.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. 100% possible.
So, that's why. And this is your boy Derek Brown in the chat, right? D-Bro? That's D-Bro, your boy.
Yeah. That is
in the chat. He's talking about Caleb Williams. He's got to make huge strides to be a decent NFL quarterback. I honestly think Ben Johnson can do that for him, and it's like the simplest fixes ever. And I think he started it with the O-line, and he was QB 16 last year in fantasy. So from a fantasy perspective, which is what we're talking about, how big of a stride does he have to take to be QB 12 or 10?
All right, we are on the clock, by the way. Miles Sanders is here. We might need another running back. Is there anybody that you really like? Justice Hill, Alec Pierce.
I like Justice Hill. I like Taj, my boy Taj Brooks.
All right, we went Justice Hill first. I take it you're not in on Miles Sanders.
I am not, but that's a player take, and I do agree with Daigle that, like when you talk about Miles Sanders and Javonte, they're closer to each other to where, like, if you like that spot, like Miles Sanders makes more sense. My buddy Rubio is big on Miles Sanders. I'm not as high, but he could be the starter, honestly, because I don't think it's going to be Jaden Blue week one.
All right, I'm taking Taj Brooks because I have so much Miles Sanders. I was debating, like, do we need him on this team? Because I think we're maybe hurting for some early production, but I think Ramondre Stevenson should have some early, like Bucky Irving obviously locked in. And then I do think like Ramondre Stevenson, Dylan Sampson, potentially Justice Hill. I think we're not too bad with the early production, so we can take a shot on somebody like Taj Brooks on this team. I also like Taj Brooks quite a bit.
Justice Hill was like pretty good last year too, and the opportunities he had. He didn't get as, obviously he doesn't get like, 20 touches like, Derrick Henry, but like when he gets opportunity, it's just because think about it in the pecking order of having to deal with all the weapons that they have in Baltimore. It's like Justice Hill is way down the list. So when he's out there, it's just like he hits a hole and he's got like he has the speed to break away a run, and he's got the pass catching ability, and he goes so late. Like he's a good 190th ADP type pick that I like, that has like a role. Like I think pretty decently carved out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. I'm going to close the poll on Judkins. The question was, if Judkins is suspended for the first 6 games of the season, where would you rank Dylan Sampson? 48% voted top 140, and then 26% each voted top 100 or still below pick 140. So people pretty torn on where they would rank Dylan Sampson if Judkins were suspended for the 6th. I voted top 100. I think. Did I vote? Maybe I voted top 140. Where would you vote? I
voted top 140.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is where I vote. I'm a little bit torn though. Yeah, because it's just 6 games. So like Judkins would still be potentially a thorn for later in the season. I think it would be closer to the pick 100 than like 140 though.
There we go, D bro. Now we're talking. We're back with Justice Hill. Now we're back. We bet Justice Hill overs here. I'm back in. I nice. Love Justice Hill overs. I bet them all the time last year. They were amazing.
That was Fantasy Guru Drew. One of his takes was always taking the overs on Justice Hill. Are you receiving props? Was that typically where you're betting?
Every single time. Like every single time. They were just automatic.
I do want to Fantasy Dog says wide receiver by committee in Green Bay. Yeah, exactly. He also says there's 51 of us here, and probably 50 of us lit up when we see Derek Brown in the chat. I always love seeing D-Bro in the chat. Always bringing the fiery takes, and those takes are very, very well researched.
And he said Miles Sanders is cooked, which I'm with. So
I draft so much Miles Sanders, so I really hope that he's wrong, because I like where he's going in drafts. It's not that I think that Miles Sanders is awesome. He's just a potential starting running back who could get 6 touchdowns going really late.
Dude, that's my whole thing with the player takes in general. And like, when do you just say I'm taking the guy? You know what I mean? With a role. Exactly. So I get it. Like I totally get it.
Cooked or not, he's still a fine pick where he's going a pick that I take quite a bit, because
the question is Javonte also cooked? And if so, Jaden Blue is not. See, here's the thing with Jaden Blue. He was not drafted to be like an every down guy. I don't think anyway. He was drafted to be a big play guy, because that's what Dallas lacked with the running game, like in the pass catching upside. Like they wanted a big play guy. So I don't think he's getting more than 10 to 15 touches regardless. I think like 15 is honestly like the high, right? With Jaden Blue?
Yeah. I think that sounds right. What do you think of Pat Freiermuth here at pick 216?
I've seen him drop here. I don't have a ton of Pat Freiermuth, to be honest with you, just because I did think Jonnu was a possibility. Then it happened. I don't mind the value though, if you just want to take the value.
Okay. Do you like Brashard Smith?
I do like Brashard Smith. I like the rookie running back from Chicago too.
Oh, Monungai.
Monungai. Yeah. I do like that they didn't bring in anyone else when they brought in Ben Johnson, who's going to use 2 running backs. So if you believe in that and he doesn't trade for anyone, which I think is less likely and less likely as we get closer, one of him or Roshan's going to play and have a role, because DeAndre Swift's not like he's not going to be like a everyday like goal line back and stuff like that. So one of those guys has touchdown upside, I think, at the very least.
Yeah. I have not taken a ton of Kyle Monungai, so I like that call. So we moved him up, and I took a share of Kyle Monungai there, because I want to have some. I've heard the bull case. I think you made a good case there, and I usually take Brashard Smith is what it comes down to, is like Jarquez Hunter, Brashard Smith, DJ Giddens, like all these other rookie running backs I usually take ahead of Kyle Monungai, but it's like he's not that different of a bet. So yeah.
Well, I think the community is pushing up those guys too. So like Monungai is a guy that's normally falling, so you can always get him like at the end. So Brashard Smith, like I've seen him go earlier because people just want to get him. Like he's one of like the guys. So which I like. I do like him, but
yeah,
Monungai, you can normally always count on 19th, 20th round. He's there. So
yeah, I'm guessing that his Let's see. Let me see if I can find how often he is drafted. So Taj Brooks, I did this yesterday. Taj Brooks taken in about 32% of DraftKings drafts through June 27th. Kyle Monungai, 30%. So he was taken in 4,558 out of 15,108. So yes, 30% of drafts so far for Kyle Monungai. Not always taken.
Yeah,
which
that
is,
makes
oh,
sense.
yeah.
I bet you early too. Both those guys weren't really getting much love, like in general. I think now people are starting to reel it.
Yeah.
Your guy, my guy, Kyle Monungai. There you go.
I like it. Drew says he got sniped on CJ Stroud, so he rage quit. At least he didn't like rage quit and then take, any worse picks than you were already taking. So appreciate that.
I'm just glad he didn't like snipe us just for getting mad that he got sniped or something like that. Or because you called him a fraud on stream. One or the other.
Well, he can't read my mind. He doesn't know how to snipe us because he can't figure out who we actually want on our team.
The only person that has the chance is Shady with the magic. You know what I mean?
The figure it out.
Tool. He can figure it out.
He can figure out what I want. Absolutely. Saul Goodman says, Neil, are you drafting with Cam Scatabo today? Or do you look like Cam Scatabo? Have you gotten that comp?
I haven't gotten that comp. I've gotten the Islam Makhachev comp or Khabib. You know, I don't know if you've seen Khabib from MMA. I've gotten those comps though a lot. So sometimes I'll just do the strap and I'll get those comments. So
you just look like an athlete.
Wrestlers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not the Scatabo one though. I mean,
I don't really know what Scatabo looks like. Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's more of a bowling ball though than I am. I mean, I'm not a big guy either. Like he's short too, but he is like that dude's like a legit bowling ball. You're
built like a point guard. He's built like a fullback.
He's built like a fullback, but he's like 5 foot. What is he? 5'8", 5'9"?
Is he okay? I guess I would have guessed. Yeah, 5'9", 5'10".
Now I'm gonna look up because I don't want to just say that. Let's see how tall is he. I'm probably. Oh, it says 5'11". Okay, taller than I thought. Way taller than I thought. He's still a bowling ball though. His legs are freaking huge.
Big dude.
He's jacked.
All right, what do we need for our final pick here? We have a 3-7-6-3. So maybe wide receiver. Let's go through. So we have Jamar Chase, Bucky Irving, Garrett Wilson, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, Juwan Jennings, Jordan Addison, Bo Nix, Evan Ingram, JJ McCarthy, Ramondre Stevenson, Dallas Goedert, Trey Benson, Dylan Sampson, Romeo Dobbs, Justice Hill, Taj Brooks, Pat Freiermuth, Kyle Monungai.
Is Jalen Naylor available?
Ooh, Jalen Naylor. We do have JJ McCarthy.
We do. That's why I was wondering.
So you're Naylor over Ty Felton.
Yeah. So just because I have like a decent amount of Minnesota stacks, I do have some of both, but I have more Jalen Naylor. But it is a spot where I want to be over more on Jalen Naylor, but I don't want to be out on Ty Felton in general, just because I have so much. I've been trying to make sure I don't just like with these late round guys, like just go full heavy on one if there are two like this. Like
Jalen Naylor went the pick before us, by the way. he just went.
Well, Felton it is. So
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. No, I'm not mad either. It's the same thing with like Tutu and Whittington from the Rams. Like, I think one of those guys, if Puka, who we've seen get hurt and miss games, like, if that happens, like, both those guys kind of slide up. The Rams are going to play a lot of 11, so, like, 3 receivers on the field.
Debro calling out the what the Giants are putting out there. He says he stood next to Cam Scatabo. No way he's 5'11".
Dude, I'm telling you, in my head, I'm reading this right now, so maybe this is just wrong. ESPN's just wrong. Google's just wrong, but it says 5'11".
No, I think that's the thing. They have the players put on cleats, so they measure them with the cleats on, and then they round up. So I'm sure he's 5'9". Yeah. So I think it's probably true what Debro is saying, that he's not actually 5'11". So Debro says Ty Felton running behind Naylor, and Naylor will be the starter. I don't know. I'm not sold. Naylor was not that good last year, so that's.
I think that's what's going to happen too. Honestly, I think rookie or first year quarterback, Naylor's at least played a full season with them. They have Justin and Addison who they trust. Like, they're the big play guys. Like, I think they're just going to go with maybe more consistency over like the full talent of Ty Felton. I think maybe he wins it
It's
though
possible.
later in the year, or someone gets hurt. You never know, like what kind of happens throughout the year. But I do agree. I think it's Naylor's job to lose is the point right now.
I agree with that, and that's kind of what the beats are saying too. That like they're expecting him to start the season as a starter. I think third round rookie. I mean, I know he's the last pick in the third round, but like Naylor, just like you look at his yards per route run and stuff last year, not that amazing. So I'm hopeful that when I pick Felton, I'm hopeful that he can just take over by the end of the season. All right. I want to do one more draft. I told you that you are welcome to stay for as long. I'd love to have you on longer, but I know you've got a whiny dog.
I'll stay with you. No, okay. I'll stay with you. My dog's fine.
Reddy's going to be okay with it?
What he's doing right now, it's so hot outside, but my wife's outside, and he's going from being inside and outside right now. So he's just, he runs, he gets all hot, and then he comes in and starts panting.
It's a tough life for Reggie.
Yeah, trust me, he's got one of the better lives. So he's very spoiled. We have no kids, so Reggie's it right now.
It's the same way for us. We have a very, very spoiled dog, and he's no kids. He's all we talk about. Like it's like sort of embarrassing when I think about like the percentage of conversations that my wife and I have. What percentage are about the dog? It's like, but yeah, he's just we love that guy.
I bet
How old is Reggie?
I bet you it's similar to the amount of conversations my wife and me have about Reggie. So he is going to be 6 in September.
Oh, wow. Young guy.
Yeah.
Just a pup.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
We didn't get lucky this time. No, we did not get lucky this time. We are right in the middle of the board at pick 8, which I don't mind. You can get a really strong second round pick at the very least with pick 8. So it's not a bad place to be.
Yeah, pick 8's like the interesting, like that pretty much 8, 9, because I feel like at least the first 6, anyways. Like you kind of know the 6 guys that are going. It's very like
most of the time.
Up to Gibbs most of the time are the 6 that are pretty much going, and then like you get CMC that'll fall after that. You'll get like Puka in that range, but it'll vary. Like Malik Neighbors, Amon Ra, all these guys will kind of like, I think they're like super close, so they can go anywhere from like 7 to 12 or 13. So it's not as, so I don't know. Do you have like a guy in this range where you just always are drafting like ahead, or are you just taking, that's how I'm with you.
I'm with you. It's just like, it's such a flat tier that it's like, I mix it up. But usually it's like you get 2 players from the second tier with this pick, with the 8th pick. Like we have a shot at getting, I think we will get a second player from like that long tier. So that's kind of why it's a nice spot.
You at least have a chance for sure to get like the picks like that. So that's why it's definitely good, because you get like 2 guys that at least give you chances at like a top 5 fantasy performance overall of like all the skill position guys pretty much. So that's at least nice. I won't lie though. Like sometimes I will just like, if Puka doesn't fall, I will just take like Nico Collins and then just see who falls to me in the second round. Cause Nico's someone I'm trying to get like over on.
Yeah.
But he does fall to the second round a good deal. I just think I think he's worthy of a first round pick. Like I have him as a top 12 pick for sure.
I've definitely taken Nico at AP. Nico is somebody that I'm probably going to end up overweight on. I usually do like at pick 7, I'll take Puka. So if Puka falls to us at 8, I guess he would be the one that like, I'm probably not passing on Puka if he falls to us.
Because that Atlanta Rams game is going to be good. I like that week 17 too. So I want to have a decent amount of exposure to that game too. But like, we'll see right here if he falls to us or. That's where you got to just switch it up.
Yep.
Oh, so you do have Nico. I see your ranks. You do have them. All right. So they do both fall. You want to go Puka?
I'd go Puka here. Yeah. Cause Puka is rarer. I guess he's not that rare. ADP 7.9. If you prefer to go Nico.
No, I like Puka. I'm cool with that. Cause like I said, I'm with you at like it's like Puka, Nico. Those are like the two guys I kind of like in this back range. I don't really like the rest though, to be honest with you, but it's not like a big fall off. I just prefer those guys.
Wait, so you like Puka and Nico? You don't like, you mean like Amon-Ra,
I'm
St.
not a big
Brown,
fan of
McCaffrey?
CMC, Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Who else goes? I mean, Amon-Ra's fine. Like I'm fine with Amon-Ra. Genti is another guy. Like I want him in the second round, like where we're picking again. I don't really want him at the turn as much. But if he falls to like the mid second round or close to it, then I can take stabs on it. I think
this is beautiful good. What we're getting here, because we can either get BTJ falling, we get a game stack with Drake London.
Oh yeah. Okay. Who do you go? Because I have them right next to each other. I have Drake London one spot higher, but if you want to go BTJ, I'm fine with it.
Wait, I think BTJ might have. Did he go? Oh, he did go. He was okay. I missed that. BTJ.
Okay,
so it's just easy call.
Drake London.
Yeah,
Drake
and it's
London.
a game stack. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
So interesting. So you know how the Michael Penix only played 3 games last year. Drake London almost had as many end zone targets in those 3 games as he did all year with Kirk Cousins. Right. It was like 6 to 8 was the number. He was like so much more heavily targeted, and that was with like very little work. I'm sure they had in practice together. Like, so the chemistry probably wasn't like 100%. Like this could be a massive year for Drake London.
I 100%. Like he could be targeted a billion times by him, and the offense could just be better with Michael Penix too, because Kirk Cousins was just bad last year. So yeah, I'm very bullish.
He had a lot of the year. Like he had a couple big games, but like he was bad for a lot of games. So yeah. I think if Michael Penix can even give you close to what he gave you in those last 3 games for like most of the season, Drake London is going to be the biggest beneficiary of that swap.
Yeah. Stack and Relax showing us that it is, in fact, MLB All-Star break, coming in asking, is it too early to start drafting best ball? No, it is actually best ball week right now. DraftKings has offers going on all week long. I didn't add at the beginning of the video about the draft one, get one offer. You should check that out if you have not already done so. Check out all the other, look at your promos page, see if there's any other offers there, but you can find link in the description for the draft one, get one offer. It's the perfect time to start drafting best ball. He also asked, can you just do auto draft and build chalk? I think the only rule is that you need to at least adjust your rankings. Otherwise, you could just let it run auto draft. But I would recommend, at least like finding a good ranking set or something, because I don't think it'll work out that great. Or like you can set rules as far as like max number of quarterbacks, running backs, etc. But I love drafting, so I would never do it. Do you ever just auto draft, JSU?
Never. And I told you how many drafts I never. But I would say if you're doing that, like consistently update your ranks, set rules, because like you don't want to have teams with like 4 quarterbacks or 4 tight end. Like most of the time, like make sure you set those like obvious rules.
Yeah.
I think like the weirdest builds I like are like the 3-7-7-3s. So, but like you want to make sure you at least get a certain number of X and for each position. So I would just make sure you do that.
Oh, let's go. We can either take Garrett Wilson or Devonta Adams. Both are going to be available to us here if that's where we want to go.
This draft is like my ideal draft if I'm picking.
It's a beauty.
Like if I ran a.
So the question is, do we want to add on to our Rams Atlanta stack, or do you just like Garrett Wilson better? Who do you prefer of these two?
So Garrett Wilson is my clear favorite in 3, but I think if we're prioritizing the stack, which is pretty sweet right now, we could just take Devontae. Do you like to prioritize the stack, or do you go best available a lot?
I usually would go Devontae here. I think I did get that trio already.
So do you want to go Garrett?
No, I still think I want to. I still think I want to do the stack. Yeah, let's go with the stack. That's just fun.
I mean, Devontae is like one of my highest owned receivers, so I'm cool with that. Like I said, him and Garrett Wilson are just like 2 guys I'm always drafting. So, yeah, because for the most part, like in the 3rd round, I feel like most of the time I'm getting one of them.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Depending on my pick.
Agreed. Yeah. Wilson goes at 34 here, so nice little fall there.
It, by the way, Mr. Grapefruit. Glad you enjoy the MMA shows. So
yeah. Do you do those every week?
Yeah, we do them on Saturdays. Normally probably like 12 Eastern or something like that. We will run through the entire DFS and betting slate. So we had a big week last week too. A lot of winners. I was really close in the. Do you play MMA?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not always, but I did last week.
I was close in the $3. I had I think my main difference was like the 2 9Ks I needed flipped, like Fatima Klein, who I had got outscored by another 9K. I think that was my difference in the main, but yeah, it was a good week. Glad you enjoyed it though, man.
Do we go Breece Hall here? Omarion Hampton also I like as a potential.
I feel like Breece at 41 is not a bad faller. What do you think?
I'm with you. Yeah, it's kind of between those two for me, Breece and Omarion Hampton, but I think Breece is going to stay ahead of him.
What's your take on Breece, like overall? Do you like his situation with Justin Fields?
Yeah, I think it's a good situation. Like I don't think he's going to be like catch a billion passes. Like I think he'll still be involved in the passing game, but I don't generally love the passing quarterback with or the rushing quarterback with. Was he just barking at you?
No, he's barking at my wife right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. But I think he's going to have an issue with like the goal line because Justin Fields is going to pull that ball at the goal line and probably steal some touchdowns from him. And I think Braylon Allen's going to steal some touchdowns. So the question is though, like some of those RPOs that they're going to run, he's going to have some like massive big plays. So that's like the counter because Justin Fields is such a weapon that you have to, it's like the Jalen Hurts, like you have to account for those type of running quarterbacks. So Breece Hall is going to get that advantage.
Yeah, no, I think Breece Hall is a great pick. Like where he's going here, we got him to fall. Like I regularly take him in the 3rd round. So to get him in the 4th round feels really good. I think it's an offense that should be pretty good this year. I think generally like the team is just going to be fairly competitive. I think, and he's just a really talented running back who has that like home run potential. So yeah, I'm with you. I like Breece Hall quite a bit here.
That's another thing I don't normally get. I kind of wish that I had some of was like the Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields stacks. Yeah. They kind of when I get Garrett Wilson, I feel like I never get the falling Breece Hall like with my next pick. But
because they go in a weird range. Like you'd have to reach to get them both together. Usually,
I'm gonna try and get some of those because I have a ton of Garrett Wilson with Justin Fields. I want to get some because we saw like the running backs with running quarterbacks work. Look at Jalen Hurts with Saquon last year. There's
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry and Lamar. There are spots where like the quarterbacks with the running quarterbacks didn't really kill the rushers, and they both kind of just benefited. And it was the wide receivers that more got hurt.
Right. No, that's true.
Let's see who we got.
So we have Breece Hall, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Devontae Adams. Could go. I mean, Kenneth Walker I like quite a bit here. Zay Flowers.
I like Kenny Walker. That's my favorite. Kenny Walker or Calvin Ridley if we want a wide receiver, but
no, let's go Kenneth Walker, I think.
I like that.
Couple early running backs who I think are just a little bit undervalued. Get nice values on them along with our full stack.
My favorite in this range is Kenneth Walker and James Conner. I think they're like the clear 2 best running backs in this range. And James Conner's like playoff weeks are insane. It very soft. It seems like they got at Houston and then Atlanta and at Cincinnati. That's a sweet playoff schedule right there. I think James Conner has big games in those situations, or at least I think they're high scoring games.
Yeah. Connor goes here. So we will not get Connor to come back. I take RJ Harvey quite a bit in this range. I don't mind Travion Henderson. I clearly have Kenneth Walker at the top of the range. And then to me, it's sort of a mix and match with the rest of that group. But James Conner, just a good running back who you get at a fair price here. I haven't thought too much
RJ
about
Harvey's another guy I have a lot of because he falls consistently, whereas Connor doesn't always, Kenneth Walker doesn't always. So RJ Harvey's just another guy like from a running. I think I got a lot of him too. I think he's like upper 20% on DraftKings for me, RJ Harvey.
Yeah.
So I think I got a decent amount.
Harvey goes, Ridley goes. We do still have Juwan Jennings here. Yeah. Travion Henderson.
I don't mind. I like Debo, DeAndre Swift. Those are my two favorite. If you want to, I think DeAndre Swift is massively undervalued for DraftKings, just with the pass catching upside.
All right, I'll let you. Let's lean into your Bears a little bit.
All right.
He's not somebody I take a ton of, if I'm being honest. I think I usually will take Travion Henderson over DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, it's just a bet with Ben Johnson, and the fact that I think he's going to, be able to run the football a little bit better, and I think he's going to use two running backs. But DeAndre Swift showed last year that he can play all the games pretty much, and people didn't like him, but I think now the offensive system is going to be way better. I think he's going to get much better opportunities. And if the O-line's improved, I think it's just going to help everyone, not just Swift, but Caleb. And if it helps Caleb, it's going to help Swift naturally with just easy plays. Like make the easy play if the big play's not there. That was another thing, Caleb. He always was trying to make the big plays. And a good coach is going to help him figure that out. And I think Ben Johnson's a good coach. So I think he's going to help him in that area. And I could just totally be wrong. And maybe Debro's right and he just sucks. But I think Ben Johnson, just like Kevin did with Minnesota and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was not a quarterback that people thought was going to come out there. I know I didn't, and do what he did. And man, he was great. Dave Canales and Liam Cohen with Baker Mayfield. Canales with Bryce Young after he benched him, right? Everyone was, I wrote Bryce Young off after he got benched.
I thought he was done. It was like career over. Yeah.
Totally. Some certain coaches, they know what they're doing, and they especially with quarterbacks. And I think Ben Johnson's going to get the best out of Caleb Williams. So we'll at least see if he is good or not.
Yeah, no, it'll be like, if he's not good this year, I'm going to be like warning signs, just flying.
If he's not good this year, I think you can, because he's got weapons. He's got at least an upgraded offensive line. If he's not good this year, I would worry.
So you like Swift and you like Kyle Monungai. Are you? Do you ever take any Roshan Johnson, or are you just in on those two?
No, so I've been kind of like rotating between them.
Okay.
Again, some stances I try and be a little harder on. The Bears, because I feel confident they play two running backs, I'm not as steadfast on these are the two guys. It's just more who's falling and who. I'm not taking them a lot like together though. I'm not trying to like stack them too much. I just feel like if I don't get one, I can always get another type situation is more how I look at it.
Do you like Diggs? Are you a Patriots fan? Two different questions, I guess. Do you like Diggs?
I'm not a big fan of Diggs, but I do think he's got the best upside on the Patriots, so I don't mind him here.
Do you prefer anybody else?
In this dead range? No, I don't.
Okay.
So I think he's the best in this range.
Yeah, and sometimes I'll go Tony Pollard there, but we already have three running backs. Yeah, I think he fits the build.
Yeah, and like Darnell Mooney, Emeka Egbuka, those are wide receivers that I like, but they also fall. So, it's one of those things where I would take a chance on one of them falling. I don't think we'd get both, but maybe one falls and we can get one.
We can hope. We're at 0-3-4-0 build now with Puka Nacua, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs. So I don't think we need to worry about quarterback just yet. All of our running backs are more like the players we can wait on for after pick 100.
Yeah, it's a nice thing with setting up these stacks with the late quarterbacks. You have two stacks already set up. You've got Swift with Caleb, and you can back stack if you need to with like a Burden or a Colson Loveland. You got Breece Hall, which you could go Justin Fields with Breece Hall. Like it's not true. If you wanted to, and it wouldn't be That wouldn't be that crazy, honestly. You got Drake May with Stephon Diggs. So we got ourselves set up, because I do think it's a 3 quarterback team for sure.
Yeah, because we haven't taken any quarterback through 7 rounds. Yeah, we could consider. Let's see what comes here. We could consider taking Justin Fields here. I also like that we could push it, and then at 104 we would have the option of Justin Fields if he comes, or Drake May potentially. Sorry.
Yeah, I like that. Do you like are you doing a lot of like the quarterback with the running back stacks? Like the Fields with Brees? Are you doing stuff like that?
Fields goes at 87. So yes.
That's early.
Usually not as like the only stack. Usually I'll throw on another player onto that stack. All right, Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Warren.
We could go Mooney and Finn. Well, it's kind of early for that.
It's not that early. What's his ADP? ADP of 95. We're not that early. Mooney, Golden. Who do you like?
I mean, I like Mooney, but let's do it. My take on the Green Bay stuff. I know there's some people that are really high on Matthew Golden. I get that they drafted him early. They're going to use him. I still think Green Bay is going to be a rotation that is going to tilt the shit out of people. And those rookies are going to have to fend off some, in my opinion, solid veterans like Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Doubs. Those are good players, like talent-wise. Yeah. They have talent. The problem is they just spread the ball around a ton. That's the issue. They're going to play 5 receivers. They have good tight ends. Tucker Kraft, I think, is only going to be better this year. And then they have a good running game. So,
and it's by design. Like he said, he doesn't like the idea of an alpha receiver. Like he wants to like mix in different receivers for different uses and stuff. So like a lot of coaches, it's like they're trying things out. Maybe they'll figure it out and decide like this guy is the alpha. I want him to get the ball a lot. We're going to design plays for him. Right. But it sounds like LaFleur is just like, I don't want to have an alpha receiver. I want to mix in, which is that is
he doesn't care to have Justin Jefferson. Well, I mean, obviously you take Justin Jefferson, but like he doesn't feel like that's always like the need or whatever. He wants to have like a good group or core of wide receivers. And that was kind of what he's kind of always had. It's just they've gotten hurt a lot of times. I mean, look at last year. It felt like they all got hurt by the time that playoff game, like where they were just dropping like flies during that playoff game. But
we were seeing some Bo Melton last year. It was kind of rough. Tyler, what is good? I just saw Tyler going to be on Pete Overzet's randomizer, I think tomorrow or the next day. I think tomorrow, competing with John Daigle, who was on the show earlier. So nice. I don't know how they're going to do that. It'll be fun to see the new format where you're competing against each other in the randomizer.
Pete always does like the cool.
He's innovative.
Shit.
He's very innovative.
Yeah, he's innovative. He was always an innovative guy. He always had did a good job like changing stuff up and making things unique and stuff.
He's thinking outside the box, keeping it fresh. Exactly. Yep. The rest of us need to follow suit. Now most of us are just doing best ball drafts. We're not really doing anything new. Just like, all right, we're gonna do another draft here. But yeah, it's something
just out DraftKings best ball drafts, 3 hours in, 2.5 hours in.
Yeah.
About Kyle Monungai.
That's right. Yeah. We're at the Kyle Monungai point of the program. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're 104 here. Let's see who's still there. Kyler Murray's still there. It was a little fall for him.
Yeah, it's a little fall for Kyler. Could do. There's not a ton. Like there's Michael Wilson later. We could backstack with.
We got your boy Jordan Mason, but we probably don't need a running back. But
we don't need a running back necessarily. Yeah, we have Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker and DeAndre Swift.
Yeah, probably don't need one. What's your thoughts on Kyler? Do you like taking like these? Because there's not much to like stack him with. I mean, there is Michael Wilson, but like, and there goes Jordan Mason.
Yeah, I struggle with it with Kyler because like I hate having unstacked quarterbacks. So I'm always inclined to stack, but then Kyler just like he falls.
What about our guy Jaden Higgins?
Oh, I do that. I'd be happy to go Higgins. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another quarterback out too.
Yeah, I'm in on it. I like it.
All right. Good. So now we're at 0.
If we had Jacksonville, I would have said Pittman, but we don't have any Jacksonville. So I like the Higgins.
We do. So we have two like full game stacks here. Not really full. I shouldn't say that, but we have Atlanta, LA. We have two each on the Rams and the Falcons. We also have Stephon Diggs and Breece Hall. So that's kind of nice. We've got that potential game stack built out.
Man, I wish Fields didn't go. I would have liked that Justin Fields on this team.
I know. Cool. That would have been a lot of fun. So so my answer was I think that you could do just Fields with Breece Hall. I think that is actually one of the few that I do the quarterback with just the running back, because Breece Hall is a great pass catcher. Typically, though, if I take a running back with the quarterback as a stack, I want to add on at least one receiver or tight end most of the time. How about you? Yeah. Do you do a lot of quarterback with just the running back?
I don't do it a ton, but I should do it more, or at least try and like get them in my stacks. So I feel like I don't prioritize it as much. And I think because naturally in my head, I feel like a quarterback's most of the time stealing from the running back, like in the goal line situations and stuff, especially like the running quarterbacks. But like we said, we saw last year where like that didn't necessarily, like both of them kind of got there in certain situations last year. So like, could Justin Fields and Breece Hall, if that offense is rolling, which is obviously a big if, but if the offense is doing good, and I do think they have a good offensive line, could they both get double-digit rushing touchdowns? I mean, like maybe, I don't know. Like I think that's in the realm of possibility. Maybe it's
for sure,
pretty up there. But the Jets are interesting because they're so consolidated around like three players. I feel like Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Breece. They have two blocking receivers in Allen Lazard and Josh Reynolds, and Tyler Johnson, honestly, which tells you what they want to do. They want to run the football, right, Neil? They get all those like good wide receivers that are blocking. They have a good offensive line. Like, I think they're going to run the football a lot if they can, if they don't get themselves in situations kind of like Cleveland where they're just like forced to throw constantly, which is going to keep Justin Fields out of some of the bad spots that he sometimes gets in. So I think it helps him, honestly.
I like Drake May here, right?
Yeah, you like that? I like Drake May. Yeah, let's take him. Yeah. So I didn't realize this, but someone pointed it out to me on one of my shows. I'm I guess a Drake May stan, because
I thought you were saying you don't like drafting the Patriots.
I don't, but apparently on a lot of the streams that I've done, I guess I've drafted Drake May a good amount on the streams. So I've just became a Drake May stan. I think one of the reasons, though, is I always go 3 QBs, and Drake May is a consistent QB faller, Neil. I've gotten Drake May between the range that you just took him in at 113 and like 140.
He went 142 in a draft I did yesterday, which shocked me because, if you draft other places, like people are not letting him fall at all because there are a lot of people who do content absolutely love Drake May. But I was shocked to see him fall. Unfortunately, I didn't need him on my team. So I saw him fall and I was like, kind of want to take him anyway because he's falling so much.
Though, I think it's just the room that you're in. Like, I think there are a lot of people that don't like Patriots, but then you said there are a lot of, content creators that maybe are high on them, probably because they're one of those teams that all their players go late. Like Travion Henderson's the first guy that goes, and that's in the 60s. Stephon Diggs in the 80s, Drake May in the 115-ish range, 120 range, something like that.
Yep.
So it's just an easily stackable team that you don't need to get too many pieces of. Like 2 Patriots with Drake May is plenty.
Easy to take him when you don't have a Patriot yet, too. You can always throw on Hunter Henry, Pop Douglas, Kyle Williams. Like there's so many backstack options as well. Yeah, super easy. And it's also just, I think people like Drake May because he does have pretty high rushing floor. Like you don't, I think after Justin Fields, I think off the top of my head, I think he's the best rushing quarterback, like the most likely to have 500, 600 rushing yards in a season. So you throw that in with a potentially emerging offense. There's kind of a lot going for him.
And Henderson's going to help that because now you have two guys that can make big plays, and it's like the Justin Fields, Breece Hall effect. Like, who are you going to take? Like when they do like an RPO or something like that, like you're making a decision and then one guy takes it and just makes a big play. Like that's what you want, fan. You want guys that can run and throw. Like you want guys with mobility at least, or at least that's what I want most of my quarterbacks.
Do you want to go Stroud here with our Jaden Higgins or Tyjae Spears?
I
Anybody
do
else?
like
Christian Kirk?
Tajay Spears, but if you want to get one of the quarterbacks now, because I don't like the rest of the range, I'd be fine with that. Just because we already have 3 good, in my opinion, running backs, so we don't need a running back. Do you want to get the quarterback?
Yeah. I was torn between that or also doing Christian Kirk and then hoping that we could push CJ Stroud and get a double stack. There was a potential option, but I don't know.
I like
that
getting
was
it
close.
because you know why? If we don't get Kirk, we can get Jalen Noel later.
True. Good
Who
point.
always falls. So
By the way,
I like it.
I recently learned, I've always called him Jalen Noel, and then I hear all the fans football people calling him Jalen Noel, and then I realized while I was at my most recent fantasy draft that it's because there was a Timberwolves player named Jalen Noel. So we're, as basketball fans, we think it's Jalen Noel, but maybe it's actually Jalen Noel.
Former
Timberwolves player
named Jalen Noel. He was
Yeah.
a pretty good basketball player too.
He's not bad. Yeah, he's got a little game.
He's decent.
I don't remember where he was this year. He was off the Timberwolves this year, but I don't remember where he went.
I can't remember, but I do remember him. Was he on the Pelicans at one point?
Maybe that's where he went after the Timberwolves. I think he was on the Timberwolves until just this year, if I'm remembering.
Because he played somewhere this year, I think.
He did, yeah.
Remember. I can't remember where, because I remember playing him in DFS like a couple times, but Tajay Spears just went there. I do like Tajay Spears. I agree with Daigle on like the offensive line improvements, and what he showed, like when he got the opportunity, he had like the ability to like break tackles or to make you miss, to beat a guy in space and to make a big play. So to get someone like that where you're getting them, and maybe Tony Pollard with more, tread on the tire, like maybe he slows down a little bit more. Maybe they get more into a 50-50. Like I think he's a good bet, especially if Tony Pollard misses time. Then you get like the Zach, it's like the Zach Charbonnet version. Like you get like that, you know what I mean? Where you get like all the work if he gets hurt, pretty much.
Yeah,
Tony Pollard.
I think you're right. I mean, we saw it like in the playoff weeks last year, right? Or like the fantasy playoffs.
He got hurt. He got hurt in one of those games, but like,
but he scored.
With him, is he's smaller, so like, and Christian Kirk just went.
I was really hoping Kirk was going to make it back to us. That was a bummer.
Who's still around? Let's see. Trevor Lawrence.
Bashal Tootin is there. We do have the and Michael Penix also went a little bit early. So we have that double stacked, and we lost him.
They stole Penix from us.
We could always go Matthew Stafford.
Do we want to just get Stafford now, which is annoying, or do we want to wait and see if we can get Tootin? And
I kind of think we could push Stafford, but maybe not. I guess his ADP is 141. Maybe we just go Stafford. What do you think?
How bad do you want this stack finished? Because if you want it
that badly. We've already got
Tootin then.
All right, screw it. You're right. Yeah, because we've got the full game stack regardless of the quarterback.
And you're a big Tootin guy too, right? Yeah, I
am a big Tootin guy. Yeah.
Okay.
And Trevor Lawrence is there as a little bit of a buffer. Like somebody will probably want to take him over Stafford. Would have liked it if we also had Penix there, but such is life.
Yeah, I know that would have been nice.
Luther Burden just went. Is he somebody you put on a lot of your Caleb stacks?
I think a lot of people are doing the Caleb Luther. I think a lot of people like the back end Caleb stacks.
Yeah.
So I've had more of the front end Caleb stacks where I'm getting DJ or Rome, and then maybe one of the back end guys. Because I think a lot of people are doing what you're doing. If they take Caleb, they're just like, hey, I can get Luther Burden and or Colson Loveland later, which I get because like they put high draft picks into them. So like they probably will have a decent role. But they're still rookies. And I think we got to put a little stock into it with two guys in front of them that are I would assume are going to be clear alphas over them. I just don't know how much longer DJ Moore is going to. I think they drafted those guys because like eventually they're going to probably push into the main roles, but it might not be year one. Pretty much, it's more my bet, I guess. So I got some Luther Burton and Colson. I don't have like 30% though. I have it kind of spread out. mainly because I don't want to be like 40% on a stack that I love. You know what I mean? I want to
Sure.
have like some of all these guys. That's where I try not to have tough stands when I love a team. It's like Washington last year. I tried to get De'Ami Brown, Noah Brown. Like I tried to get like some of all the other Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson. So I wasn't just like fully into Terry McLaurin and Jaden Daniels, even though they were my two favorite by far. Like,
Right.
So.
Well, you said you did what, 700 drafts last year, something like that?
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Similar to me. So you're just like spreading around the bets a little bit. You don't want to be like all in on
Yeah.
just one when you're doing that much volume. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Jaden Daniels, he was definitely my highest owned quarterback on all the sites, but that's because, I just thought that people were missing the boat on his upside. I think they didn't like the Washington, and I was like, I love the Washington. They're going to be losing a lot. I didn't realize they were going to be the opposite and be really good.
We're on the clock, by the way. And Stafford went. We just lost Kyle Williams for that stack, so that's unfortunate. But we can throw on Brent Strange, Hunter Henry, Garendo. Anybody you like here? Eckler.
I don't mind Strange or Garendo. If we go running back, it's Garendo for me. If we go tight end, I don't mind Strange. I'll go Garendo. Yeah.
All right. When Garendo, because I'm thinking like Hunter Henry would also make sense on this team because we've got Drake May. So like if either Hunter Henry or Bretton Strange comes back, I'd be happy with them, I think.
Yeah, and we got the two possible running backs for week 17 with Swift and Garendo.
That's right. Yeah, we've got a lot of week 17 correlation on this team.
Yeah.
We still don't have a tight end. I didn't realize that we are completely so this is probably a 3 tight end team.
This is definitely a 3 tight end. Do you do 3 tight ends a lot?
Oh yeah, on DraftKings especially. 20 rounds. Yeah, I'm all about 3 tight ends.
Same.
Nice little Fantasy Guru Drew is on auto draft now.
He must have got tilted after someone sniped them again.
Yeah. Poor guy.
Or he just went into the hot tub and he just doesn't care anymore.
He's just like, whatever. Not worrying about his team. All right. Hunter Henry, Bretton Strange, both back here. So do we want to stack up with Hunter Henry, or do you just want to take, do you prefer Bretton Strange just as a...
I'm fine if you want to just get the stack. I mean, I do have Strange just ahead, but I like getting the stack if I can with Drake May.
Okay. Yeah, let's do Hunter Henry. I think that turn went well for us.
Yeah.
Dylan Sampson. I was considering if we should bring up Dylan Sampson again there. Dylan Sampson does just go the pick after us.
We got him the last 2 drafts, so
yeah, we don't need him in all of them. Yeah. I'm liking this team. I think this turned out okay.
I can tell that you want him in as many of your drafts as you do.
Well, just because he's going to move up. So like before, or I think he's going to continue to move up. So before that happens, I'm like, I might as well get him now just in case he
think about it. Just in the idea that he might get 5 or 6 games, people are like, oh shit, like Dylan Sampson. So if they actually come out and say it, like, where's he going?
Right.
He's going to be like pick 100 by that.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I think he'll be, I don't think move
Jerome
much more
Ford's
than that.
Going to move to like pick 140 or pick 130. Honestly,
no, 100%. I think so too. I think he's going to move maybe like the Austin Eckler range for Jerome Ford.
Yeah, okay,
would make sense.
That's fair. So it's like a little higher than B-Rob for Sampson, and then like, right around Austin Eckler for Ford.
I think that sounds about right.
That's fair.
Maybe a little below B-Rob. I don't know. It'll be close. I think it'll be around there though.
The thing with Joe Flacco, like those other teams, they do have rushing quarterbacks. Like Joe Flacco is not going to move at all outside that pocket. So like they're going to get all the opportunity from like the rushing standpoint. With Joe Flacco, it's like Sanders isn't like he's not like a runner type. Like he's not like a runner from what I've seen from college really. I don't know much about Dylan Gabriel, so I won't try and lie about him. I don't really know much if he's super mobile. I don't know if he's going to even play. Kenny Pickett can move a little bit, but he's not good.
Shedeur, from what I understand, is not a runner at all. Yeah,
it doesn't even look like when I watch him. It doesn't even look like he wants to run. No, even when he's like moving outside of the pocket, it doesn't look like he wants to actually like get into the rushing standpoint. He wants to still look downfield. All right.
I wouldn't be mad at throwing Pop Douglas onto the stack. I'd be triple stack at that point, or Jalen Noel to that stack.
Do you want to do the Pop Douglas and then see if Noel falls back?
I think Noel will probably come back to us either way.
Yeah, I think that's the best bet. Or we go Chig if we need a tight end.
We'll go 2 more tight ends on this team at this point. But I'm like the later round tight ends, I don't feel that strongly about them. Like I don't have like a huge preference. Do you have like a favorite from this group?
Yeah,
is Chig your guy?
Chig and Mason Taylor are the 2 guys I've got a ton of. I just don't see I don't see either of them dealing with massive competition.
Yeah,
which I like. If you're going to tell me my guy's going to play, I'm okay. I'll just take my shot. My guy's going to be on the field. That's what I want in a late round. I mean, we talked about it. We'll take guys that we don't think are very good players, but like that are going to play.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'll take the opportunity in these later rounds. And there's Mason Taylor, who would have fit nice with our
and Chig. Oh no, that's painful.
That's
all right. We could go.
Let's go.
We could just go Jalen Noel, and then figure it out.
I got some later round tight ends we can mess around with.
I've got a few that I feel like are pretty good bets, and we'll wait to talk about them. I guess.
Say them. Now I don't want to say them though.
I know you say the names and you're just gonna get sniped. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Chig and Mason Taylor back to back. That's all right though. We want to know it. So wait, is it Noel or Noel?
I believe it's Noel. It just from listening
Noel.
to other people. Yeah.
So I've said that wrong the entire summer. Lovely.
Me too. This is a brand new thing that I started hearing people call him Jalen Noel, and I was like, "Is it Jalen Noel?" And then I realized that I just defaulted to Noel because of the basketball player. So I actually don't know that Noel is correct. It's just that's my guess based on other people saying it.
That's all right. It's on brand for me to say names wrong consistently, so I might just keep calling him Noel.
Jalen Noel.
Just see how that goes. But
good name.
Noel, that I could see it. It's probably right because I'm usually wrong, so it's probably right.
By the way, Noel is correct. WFM Warehouse says, by the way, if you have not already liked the video, I forget to do this. You guys are so good at doing this at Run Pure Sports, reminding people, please do like the video. If you're not already subscribed to the Flannelverse, would appreciate if you subscribe. And if you want to get notifications when I go live on this channel, you can hit that little notification bell to get alerts whenever I go live, which is going to be very frequent this week during DraftKings Best Ball Week, doing a lot of drafts with a lot of sharp drafters. Want to give that little plug
people there. Don't realize the subscribe button that always helps the streams. If you do enjoy the streams and stuff, subscribe, and it helps you too, because you actually do see the notifications come through like when you go live. So it is pretty handy if you're like, oh crap, I already missed it or something like that. Like it does help. So obviously the like button, the subscribes help Neil, but like it does help you guys too. So if you enjoy the shows and stuff, which if you're watching 2.5 hours in, then you probably enjoy it.
Hopefully you don't hate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Or you're just watching for my bad name takes and football takes and Neil's flannel shirts or Daigle's Hawaiian shirts or whatever.
Yeah. They're furious right now. The Daigle's not back.
Love of Kyle Monungai, whatever his hate for Caleb Williams, which I'm just gonna gloss over. Don't
worry about that.
So I'm totally gonna bookmark it though, D Brown, and come back to it on this channel in the middle of football season if Caleb Williams is cooking. And if he's not cooking, then I'll still come back to it and I'll own it, but I'll still give you shit.
Yes, you have to. You gotta let D-Bro know if he's wrong about his takes.
That's right.
Because he feels so passionately about them. All right.
I respect that though.
JT Sanders went. He was one that I like, but we've got Freiermuth, Dalton Schultz, Harold Fannin, Theo Johnson, another one that I like. Who are your tight end favorites?
So I got some dusty ones later, but Schultz is here, and we do have.
We do. That's a good point.
Do you want to? Let's do that, and then we'll take like a last round tight end with our last pick, because I do got some dusty ones. Like for me at the tight end range, here are just some of the guys. Like with my last 2 picks, I'm taking Terrence Ferguson from the Rams, which we do have like a Ram stack set up, even though we didn't get our quarterback.
Yeah.
I do like him. I think eventually he wins the job over Higbee. I don't know if it happens. I don't think it happens right away, though. I think he's like a back end of the year player, probably. That's why third tight end's good. And then I really like the Chargers tight ends. Tyler Conklin and Aronde Gadsden are the 2 guys I'm bookmarking. And I'm kind of like taking them every other, honestly, Neil. I'm just like going back and forth.
Mixing them up.
And they actually fit because am I wrong that Houston and the Chargers play in week 17?
No, that's right.
So they would actually fit our build. So if you don't mind taking a shot on one of those guys, I think that they have Will Dissly.
Do you want to do that now with this pick?
I mean, I don't think we have to. I think we could do it at the end. But if you want to do it now and just get it over with, we can.
Do you like one of these running backs? Do you like Taj Brooks, Brashard Smith,
I like
Miles
some
Sanders?
Taj Brooks or Brashard Smith.
All right, let's go.
One or the other.
We did Taj last time, so we'll go Brashard this time.
Brashard, yeah.
I'm thinking, what do you think of making this a 4 tight end build?
I think this is one of the cases where you could go 4. How many receivers do we have on this build?
We also only have 2 quarterbacks, which I forgot that we got sniped on all those. So we are the build right now is 2-6-8-2. We have Drake May, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Puka Nacua, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Hunter Henry, DeAndre Swift, Stephon Diggs, Darnell Mooney, Jaden Higgins, CJ Stroud, Bashal Tutin, Isaac Correndo, Demario Douglas, Jalen Knoll, Dalton Schultz, and Brashard Smith. So we probably want at least one more tight end, and then we could do another quarterback potentially. The quarterbacks remaining are gross. Yeah, I'm not really feeling these quarterbacks.
So I don't do this, but we do have an Atlanta stack, and Kirk Cousins we could probably get with our last pick.
Oh no, we could think about it. I'm
just saying, if you wanted a third quarterback, I haven't done this yet, but
we don't need to. We don't need to force it, but we could.
Okay.
I don't totally hate the idea.
Stack. It's just that you have the full stack.
I know we've got a full-on game stack without the quarterbacks from either team. Yeah, no, it is. I do wish that we had a quarterback from that game.
I kind of like the idea of going at least one Chargers tight end. If you don't like it, or Terrence Ferguson, it's one or the other. If you want to go 4, we could do both. We could go Terrence Ferguson and a tight end from the Chargers.
Yeah, we could do that.
Because you're not doing the third quarterback, which I don't see any other options.
No, it's gross.
It's gross. So yeah, I'm fine with going 2 tight ends. We have at least 8 receivers, so I think that's solid.
So here's what happened. Skeen took Lamar Jackson, decides to add on Caleb Williams, Anthony Richardson, Russell Wilson, and Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was wondering where all the quarterbacks went late.
So do you want to go Terrence Ferguson?
Yeah, we can go Terrence Ferguson. So what do you think? Are we going 4 tight ends, or are we going to – because I think we're good at running back.
Yeah. No, I think we are too. I think it's probably another tight end.
Yeah. I think I've done this once where I went – because it's just like gross when Hunter Henry's your top tight end, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's totally in a 20-round draft. I have no issue with 4 tight end.
Yeah, especially when you're taking them mainly all at the end, where it's like they're all kind of close to the same. Who do you like between like Conklin, Gatson, Dissly? Who's your preferred if you had to rank them? Because I think it's a valuable situation if you get it right. Because Justin Herbert does target the tight end a good amount. And you saw last year glimpses when it was Will Dissly mainly. He was good.
Right. I don't know enough about Gadsden to know how much he's going to like screw things up there.
He just, to me, sets up as like a perfect red zone target, like a Donald Parham type where like, he's in on like passing situations, but like he can come in the red zone. Again, Will Dissly or Tyler Conklin is probably like one of those two probably starts. I just think they brought those two in for a reason. If they loved Will Dissly, it would have been,
Okay,
I think
so you're not high on Will Dissly. So should we go with the rookie?
I mean, yeah, I'm higher on him, and I like it because you have 4. If you had 3, I think I'd go with a veteran like a Dissly or a Conklin. But because you have 4, I kind of like the Gatson pick.
All right, so here is the final team. So it's a 2-6-8-4, a little bit of a unique build there. We go with Puka Nacua, Drake London, Devontae Adams, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Swift, Stephon Diggs, Darnell Mooney, Jaden Higgins, Drake May, CJ Stroud, Bashal Tutin, Isaac Garendo, Hunter Henry, Demario Douglas, Jalen Knoll, Dalton Schultz, Brashard Smith, Terrence Ferguson, and Oronde Gadsden. So two rookie tight ends to round things out. I think it's a pretty strong team. I do wish that we had one more quarterback.
We didn't get Matthew Stafford or Michael Penix on this team when we started, and we ended up getting a Houston stack with Drake May and Breece Hall.
Yeah,
crazy.
Did not go exactly as planned. I mean, I think both of those quarterbacks went to teams completely unstacked. Penix goes without anybody on Atlanta. Stafford goes to a team with nobody on the Rams. So, which is kind of what you get on DraftKings a lot of the time.
That's the tilting thing about best ball. It can be chaos, and you can come in with a game plan, and it goes well for the first like 5 rounds, and it's like perfect.
Yep.
And then round 10, someone just F's it up, and they take Michael Penix like 3 rounds before ADP, and there's like, well, nothing I can do about that. I just
100%.
Move on to the next stack that I can figure out and stuff. So you gotta really think on your feet and almost like try and build yourself out some outs. Okay, like if this doesn't work, I at least have this. Like you hear Neil talk about it all the time. He's like, okay, we got this player, so like if we don't get this, we can always stack like Trevor Lawrence with Tutin. You were like, we could potentially. So you're just building yourself out more and more outs. And that's what people should also be doing when they draft, is not just think about stacking, correlate, but also just slowly trying to build yourself a couple more outs. So if you're not all in on a situation and then someone fucks it up and you're like, well, there goes my draft, I just wasted $20. It's like, no, make sure you try and get some outs so you're not just dead if that one bad thing happens.
You're not just thinking about your next move, you're thinking about the move after that and the move 5 picks down the road. Yeah, you're always trying to think ahead with these drafts. I think so. Even though we only ended up with 2 quarterbacks and like both of them outside the top 100, and like we made the picks and we were like, all right, this is gonna be a 3 quarterback team. I'm like, I think I'm okay with it for a 2 quarterback team, like because I think Drake May does have pretty big upside. I think CJ Stroud actually, like I think both have pretty strong upside. Do you agree with that?
I do, and I do think that they're 2 players that at the end of the year does have the top 12 potential fantasy quarterback upside. I mean, CJ Stroud was going kind of like around where like Pat Mahomes is going this year, last year.
Way earlier.
So we know he has the upside. Like that's a fact. Drake May is more of the question mark, but we know he's got the rushing ability. So if the weapons help him this year, which I think you can make the case the Patriots had the worst skill position players in the league by far last year. I mean, even the Saints, like you would take all those Saints guys, like the Saints starting unit, like fully healthy, way over.
Well, the healthy Patriots. For sure. Yeah. I mean, they were way good when they were healthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so like Patriots were the clear one to me. And I think they went and they get Kyle Williams, they get Stephon Diggs, a vet, a rookie. Then you go get the big play guy in Henderson.
Yep.
The offensive tackle, which, supposed to be the best one in the draft. We'll see what happens. But, they did a good job at least addressing some of the offensive issues. We'll see if they can put it all together. But I thought they did a good job, at least from an off-season standpoint of like putting at least better pieces on the field for their quarterback to have more success than he did last year.
100%. Yeah. I think it's a good setup this year for Drake May. So yeah, if you're going to go with 2 quarterbacks that you didn't really have to reach for, didn't take early, I'm happy with the two we got. I would have liked the team better if we got one of Penix or Stafford, but
Me
even
too.
without that falling to us, like it's still okay. I still think it's a nice team overall.
Yeah, it is a fun team. It's like we need a lot of things to go right, obviously, with the tight end and the two quarterbacks. But, if they both stay healthy and one of those or two of those tight ends can somehow come out of nowhere, like that's where this team shows upside. And when you're drafting in the Millie Maker format, you do want to take chances like that sometimes.
Right. We're prioritizing some upside on the team. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys at Run Pure Sports are also partners with DraftKings. Are you doing any content for DraftKings Best Ball Week?
Yeah. We're gonna have a stream tomorrow. I think 11 a.m. Eastern time. I'm pretty sure tomorrow, or 11 a.m. or 12. I can't remember exactly, but it's going to be me, and we'll see who else I get on there. Eventually, I'll get Neil on there too. Maybe I'll make him. Maybe I'll make him sweat it out for a few.
Yeah,
weeks
you got to at least 1 year. You got to like, oh, I'm going to bring Neil on someday.
He'll be my like 6th guest, but like not his 54th guest like I was. But
that's fair.
Yeah, fair. We're gonna be doing shows, and I try and do at least 1 or 2 shows on the thing a week, just because we still have bunch of other sports going on, with obviously the All-Star break. It's a little easier to prioritize best ball. And we do have a Discord channel too. So we're drafting in there, talking best ball. So if you just want to come in, talk best ball, I'm always in there. You can always hit me up on Twitter too. Love grading teams. So if you send me your team, I will grade it, but I will be very honest with my grade. So I won't just give you a B+ because I'm a nice guy. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. So I give a lot of C-, Neil, a lot of C-. But mainly they're player takes. Like when I see someone draft, what's D Brown's favorite rookie running back? Oh, RJ Harvey. When I see someone draft RJ Harvey, instant C+, just goes down to C+. So
all right.
Kidding, actually. I like RJ Harvey, so I'm actually kidding about that. I just wanted to give Derek Brown shit.
Give him a little crap. Go check out. So Jay Surab on Twitter, JSURAB. That's it, right, on Twitter.
Yep. And hit the like button on Neil's stream too. We need more likes on the show.
Appreciate that. And I'll read off this comment from Travis. And a great stream. My first time listening to JSU. Good dude with concrete player takes and solid game theory. Yeah, always a lot of strong takes from JSU today. All right, John. Appreciate you coming on. Make sure you check out that Run Pure stream tomorrow. I'll be back streaming tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern with JJ Zacharyson and Adam Ship My Money Share coming on for that one, streaming all week on this channel. So again, if you haven't already done so, please like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get alerts. Thank you guys very much. Thank you to DraftKings. I'll catch you later.